atop a throne of skulls.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our 5th edition of the Eternal Challenger League. So guys, we're here in week 5, or I shouldn't say week 5, but we're here with the 5th of the 8 qualifiers. So we're getting pretty close to the grand finals here. And today we have some really good matches for everyone. Thank you. Welcome guys, welcome. Good to see some familiar faces. Yes, it is time. We're actually just getting started. So yes, you are just in time. We just have the heavy metal intro as always. We're going to be jumping right into game 1, which is going to be a showdown between Pharaoh of War and Pippington. So we have some clanmates going fisticuffs here, which is definitely going to add some extra flavor to this matchup. But let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets and the pieces of 8 and kind of see what's happened in the past couple weeks. So firstly, the brackets. For today, we do have Pippington facing off against Pharaoh of War in the first best of 3. And then the second best of 3 is going to be a showdown between Pipes and Halo. Halo. Kind of like a Halo, but Halo. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. But it's going to be Pippington versus Pharaoh of War, and then Pipes versus Halo. The finalists will, of course, be playing in a best of 5 finals, as is usual. Standard format here for our Eternal Challenger League. It's going to be cool. So as far as the pieces of 8 so far, the qualifiers for our finals, we do have Rightist, Exploding Hamster, Flying Taco, and last week we did, of course, have Felcon, who was able to defeat the Box Lord. And yeah, we're in good shape. It is time. Welcome, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first match, see what's going on. I'm going to have a sip of coffee real quick. It looks like we're going to have a Greenskins versus Beastmen, so it's going to be a very bestial, wild showdown, aggressive, fast-paced. This is going to be a quick game either way. Typically, when you see Beastmen versus Greenskins, it's very fast, it's very explosive, and yeah, it's extremely fun. Because they both have relatively maneuverable, like, skirmisher units, right? You're going to see some interesting play between Centaurs and Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and there's so many different directions you can go. Granted, Pharaoh of War, definitely known for his unorthodox builds here, so let's start when ready. No rush. And we're good. It's go time, guys. Good evening. Good evening to some of you guys over in Europe. Good morning, good afternoon. Different parts of the world. You guys think Pippington, huh? Clanmates, both in the clan cycle charge, which is pretty cool. We got Alexander Marsh, the Professor Pipes here in chat. He's going to be playing in our next best of 3. He's also a Twitch streamer, so please feel free to drop any links to your Twitch channel if you'd like. I know you put on a good show. These streams used to get... well, we just started the stream. Yeah, the stream actually just went up about 6 minutes ago. So, yeah, we're going to get rolling. Don't you guys worry. What do you think the most underrated unit is? Well, it's a little bit tough to answer that in an overall perspective about the entire game. But if you give me a specific faction, I could probably answer that a little bit more efficiently. Yes, yes. Yeah, and this is the first game of the day. It's going to be a best of 3 between Pippington and Pharaoh of War. So it looks like his internet is holding up pretty good today. He is ready to party, and let's go ahead and get rid of the screen blocker. So for the forces of the Beastmen, it looks like we're going to have Morker the Shadowgate for Little Lord and for Pippington. So we're going to have Morker the Shadowgate for the leadership. He's got his Pimp Claw, he's got his cane, he's got his Dreadlocks, he's ready to go. And he's a good choice. He's very tough to snipe, he's durable, you can slap him in the front line, and honestly, Chaos Spawn really aren't bad against Greenskins, because Chaos Spawn do have low armor piercing, but there are a ton of targets on the Beastmen roster that are lightly armored, so Chaos Spawn really thrive in this matchup. I wouldn't say like pick them as an army pick, but if you're going to be using Morker, his Chaos Spawn are going to be very efficient. Thank you, Wicked D, for the donation. Really appreciate it. And over here, we have the Bray Shaman with the Lore of the Wild. So we do have Cygor summons that are going to be coming down. Cygors are just so powerful in general, especially if they have like, you know, some expensive infantry. It looks like it's mostly Savage Orc Biggin, so those guys are expensive, right? So Cygors being able to put some hurt on them is going to be quite valuable. So I do like the Cygor summon. We also have some Razor Gore Chariots, which are going to be really good against Greenskin infantry. The Greenskins can counterplay the Chariots by using Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but if they don't, these things can wreck infantry formations. You have the Butchers of Kalkengard lurking somewhere in the forest. Looks like you just move those things over. Frontline's going to be Goreherds with shields, so going for the higher melee defense rather than the burst damage. He's really going to be relying probably on his Chariots and his Minotaurs to do most of the heavy lifting. Plus Morker, of course, is very powerful. There's going to be a big Pimp Daddy Gorbel here on the far side. If someone decides to bring like a very sneaky Ragnarok Queen or something like that, the Gorbel can actually be incredibly powerful. So this guy, you got a mass increase in the Curse of the Vampire Coast, and he does quite a bit of work. So yeah, we got Pimp Daddy Gorbel ready to go. And that's going to be it. Looks like a couple groups of Centaurs up here in the front, and they're just standard Centaurs. They're essentially there to just counter skirmish the Greenskins. So for the lads in Pharaoh of War, it looks like we have Morgub's Mage Marauders and Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers here in the Vanguard. They're going to be pretty good against Beastmen. Especially the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, they are actually really good at pinning down Chariots and Greenskin and Beastmen skirmishers, so I do like that quite a bit. His front line is going to be a couple Night Goblin Fanatics, it looks like. In the middle, he does have 8-peak Loonies. And in the front line, it's going to be Savage Orc Biggins for days. Now, this is going to be pretty scary because Savage Orc Biggins do have a bonus versus large. They'll be able to tear up Minotaurs. They'll tear up these Goreherds pretty easily. Now, the Chariot play is going to be really strong against them. So there is counterplay on both sides, which is going to be fun. But look at this. It looks like Pharaoh of War has actually mixed in Squig Herds. Now, Squigs have enough mass to actually pin down Chariots. So this might be able to counteract the Chariot play if it's done correctly. On top of that, we do have a Night Goblin War Boss with the Tormentor Sword. That's pretty much the only reason you bring him, is just for his Tormentor Sword. And then we also do have a Night Goblin Shaman here who does have Gorkle Fix It, and I actually think he's a really competitive pick because he basically brings a slow to the table, which the Greenskins can greatly use. Here, it does give a 48% speed. Night Goblin, or Night Goblin Big Boss. Yeah, the Night Goblin, or the Goblin Big Boss here, and then in the back we got Orc Biggins and one more group of Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So great armies from both players. Start when ready. Typical day. Okay, they're like talking about their work days and stuff. Yes. It is time for the first showdown of the day, which is going to be a best of 3 between Pippington CC and Pharaoh of War CC, two bitter clanmates in battle here. They actually like each other. It's just funny to like put a bit of a narrative, right? So the forces of the Greenskins are going to be piling forward. The Morgub's Mage Marauders and the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to be shooting at some of these Chariots, but the Beastmen Hordes will be advancing out of the forest here. Centaurs, of course, are ready to party as well. So you can see these guys just lurking in the trees, waiting for their opportunity to strike on the Greenskins. And we might have a little bit of lag here, as I know they're on different parts of the, essentially different areas on the planet here. But we're gonna be trying to do our best. Anyways, Forest Goblin Spider Riders are kiting back, taking some pot shots into the forest against Goreherds and other troops like that. But the Hounds and Centaurs, very good at counter skirmishing. The Greenskins are going to be able to chase those guys out. And the green side has one simple strategy. There's not going to be too much dynamic play in regards to like flanking or different tactics like that. I think it's just going to be a brute force charge using the Biggins, who do have that anti-large. And if they can have the Goblins actually take the brunt of the damage in the front, that's going to be really good, because Biggins are a unit that is very dependent on their Frenzy, right? They get this Frenzy mechanic, they're immune to psychology, they get combat stats. So while they're healthy and their leadership is good, they're going to be much more powerful. So the frontline engagement is about to be underway. It looks like over here we do have the Chariots kind of sitting, but the Centaurs coming in with the counter charge. I actually thought that you might be able to get those with those Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but here it comes, the Greenskin onslaught with the wad. This is going to be a very heavy duty charge. And you can see the Beastmen doing a little bit of a tactical retreat, which is actually a good idea to allow some time for their skirmishers. And it looks like Pharaoh of War is also going to be pulling back and just trying to reevaluate this engagement and make sure that he can get that optimal straightforward push on these bad boys. Over here, it looks like he was able to catch some of these Centaurs. Pippington, yeah, he only loses like 3 models. It's nothing like terrible, but he is able to kind of catch those guys and fend them off, which is good. Now the Beastmen forces are going to be advancing out. Now he is pushing everything out at once. Morker, the Shadowgave, is going to give a much needed kind of a angry pocket here in the middle, right? That's going to keep things anchored. Over here, the Centaurs are being popped down. They do have about 40 models, some good skirmishing here from Pharaoh, but it looks like the countercharge from the Beastmen is underway. And the lads say they're ready, but I don't think they're really ready for this. They're going to get run over by chariots, which is not fun. Razorgore chariots are heavy metal, but look at that beautiful countercharge from the Biggins and the Squigs and all those guys. So if the chariots can get away, I mean, that's some pretty solid free value that Pippington got. In the main fight, it looks like the Beastmen are kind of like teasing. They're going back and forth. They're trying to bait out the wall, which is a very good tactic. Pippington runs in. He's like, oh, are you going to use your wah? And then, you know, Pharaoh's being really patient. I think he knows. And that is a beautiful tactic from Pippington. Very good stuff. And in the meantime, he's still getting pretty good value, right? His Razorgore chariots are running into the Savage Orcs and, you know, doing pretty well. But there is, no, actually, it looks like Pharaoh of War did get his Forest Goblin Spider Riders caught. Now the erect wah has been popped. So the wah is down. These Gore Herds with shields are just going to get mulched. This is literally a lawnmower now, and they're going to try and run, but the Squigs are also chasing. Oh, look at the Squigs just feasting on them as they try and run away. That is so great. They're taking a lot of damage, but of course, Pippington, expecting this, is going to be falling back, doing everything he can to kind of stay away from the wall. Over here in the back, the Minotaurs are also going to be falling back. Nobody wants any piece of that greenskin action, but the wall definitely got him some good value, right? He was able to kill these Gore Herds. These ones are pretty maimed as well. The Bray Shaman with the Lord Wild is going to be coming in, but that's a little bit dangerous. Again, Squigs have pretty good mass. You can see the Chariot here does get pinned down. The Squigs could easily surround this bad boy and do some pretty good work. Over here on the far side, we do have the Goblin Big Boss and the Night Goblin War Boss coming in. It looks like he did use his Tormentor Sword already, but if he hasn't, that's going to be brutal. If he Tormentor Swords Pippington's Chariots right here, that could actually be game blouses. Over here on the far side, it looks like Cygor was summoned from the Beastmen, which is going to be quite useful. So you can see Chaos Spawn summons going down, Cygor summons, and he's going to try everything he can to free up his caster because the Greenskin, the Green Tide, has fully surrounded this Beastman caster on his Pim Chariot, and he can't really get away because the Squeaks have good mass. You can see he's trying to squeak out here. He might be able to push his way through, but there's Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So much pressure coming in. Very, very good stuff here from Pharaoh of War with that pin. And the Tormentor Sword is going down as well, which is going to lower his melee attack and pin him in place, so he was saving that. And oh no, an onslaught of the Green Tide coming in right here. You can see Savage Orcs and Squigs with the rear charge, and the Minotaurs, and all of the Beastmen forces here are so heavily surrounded. And even though, you know, Morker the Shadowgave is somewhat tanky, like, against just full erect Savage Orc Biggins, those guys are going to tear him to pieces in, you know, a pretty quick manner. But a good rear charge coming in. The Butchers of Kalkengard and the Chariots coming into the back actually do buckle some of the Squigs. The AP Loonies are still fighting, and they're still set 73 Savage Orc Biggins here fighting, and you can see how quickly they kill those Chaos Spawns simply because of their bonus versus large and their high damage output. So if we take a look at the battlefield overall, you can see the Chariot is trying to run away, but the Squigs are actually a really creative counter to those. Over here we do have some Centaurs who were able to get a wrap on the Night Goblin Shaman, so they both kill each other's caster. Pippington was able to kill the Night Goblin Shaman here. It's pretty much going to get killed and drove off the battlefield. And Pharaoh of War was also able to capture, you know, the caster, the Bray Shaman on the Chariot. And I'm not sure if he actually got killed. Looks like, is he back? No, those are Gore Herds over there. And it looks like he did actually kill the Bray Shaman caster, which is really good because that could have essentially meant like 1 or 2 more Cygors was going to be coming on the battlefield, which is going to be crazy. So, yeah, Shetland Apache in chat says we're forcing his clan to fight each other. Oh my god, that's so funny. So the Night Goblin War Boss is actually running right here, and you can see Morker the Shadowgave with his Pimp Claw is going after the Night Goblin War Boss. That's pretty good. He's able to kind of break off the Goblin leadership, which is going to affect the rest of the Greenskin forces, of course. And you can see here that the hordes of Beastmen are actually doing okay in melee, but yeah, the Greenskins definitely have an advantage. I mean, Savage Orc Biggins are just so meaty. These guys have 45 weapon strength, almost 50 melee attack. I mean, they're just going to mulch through a lot of these Beastmen forces. But the Bounce Bar is pretty much dead. Even the Cygor summon is almost gone. The Chaos Spawn, looks like the second group of Chaos Spawn was summoned by Morker. And here it looks like the Brave Goblin, the Night Goblin War Boss, actually dives back into melee with the Gore Bull. I don't think he wanted to stay in sustained combat. I think he just went in to use the Tormentor Sword and lock him in place and lower his melee attack. But yeah, this little dude needs to run for sure. He is not in the right neighborhood. So the Greenskins are essentially leaderless right now. Morker is still holding pretty strong, but the Green Tide does have a massive amount of pressure in here. The Savage Orc Biggins are in good shape. You know, the Goblins are in good shape here, but I don't know, Morker might be able to pull this one out. The Bounce Bar is still pretty even. We have a relatively close game on our hands here. There's still Squig Herds fighting. I mean, there's so many powerful Greenskin infantry units. And the Beastmen, you know, once his Chaos Spawn are gone and once his Cygor is gone, they're just going to have a couple tattered Gore Herds, a Gore Bull who's starting to get pretty beat up, and a lot of, you know, what he has left are large units, right? Like Centaurs and the Gore Bull here, and there's so many just Savage Orc Biggins who are so scary. Horse Goblin Spider Riders are going to be countercharging the Butchers with Kalkengard as they do come in. You can see there's orcs flying. There's just all kinds of shenanigans. And the Goblin War Boss coming back in. Now, if he can actually keep the Goblin War Boss alive and kind of on the periphery of the battlefield and get one more Wah off, I think that would be enough to maybe kind of clinch this center engagement here. But the Beastmen are putting up a great fight. You can see the Chaos Spawn here going. I mean, yeah, this is incredibly close. So if we look around the battlefield, there are some rallying troops. Pharaoh of War definitely needs to bring all these guys back. His Savage Orcs, his Squigs. I mean, that is a lot of power. And another Wah has been popped, which is going to be so incredibly powerful here. The Orc Biggins have, you know, just what, like 70 melee attack now. Look at this. Somehow the Beastmen are stabilizing here. Maybe it's a little bit from the Chariot. The Gorbel, I don't think causes terror. He just causes fear. The Butchers of Kalkengard, I actually think are partially responsible because even though there's only 4 of them, they actually do cause terror, right? But they're going to get cut down here in a matter of seconds. You can see they are healing pretty efficiently, but the Biggins are able to break them. That Gorbel is still alive, though. Savage Orc Biggins are going to be piling in, trying to chop up the last of these Blackhorns Ravagers. The Chariots here as well definitely need to go down. And if Pharaoh does have some resources to chase them, what a close game. I mean, either player could pull this one out. The Greenskins definitely had the advantage in terms of, you know, the troops and the infantry fight. But here you can see Pippington is kind of playing that long game. And Morker the Shadowgave is very good at just lasting long, grinding down enemy forces. And here come the Orc Biggins who are eager. They're definitely ready to put up a fight against these Blackhorns Ravagers and the Gore Herds and things like that. And over here, the Gorbel is able to stabilize. Yeah, he's just kind of fighting some Squigs over here in the shadows, which is pretty cool. So if we look around, the Greenskins have a huge tide of infantry, and this is so often the case in multiplayer. Like, the Greenskins often lose their Lord, and then they just have, like, this tide of units just pouring in, and it becomes this very, like, grindy, long fight, right? But, oh no, Morker the Shadowgave is actually breaking right here. He is fully broken. The green tide lets out resounding wah as they push forward, and you can see the Beastmen are just being tossed up in the air, and the green tide is going to take Game 1 here in this best of 3 series. So man, what a battle. That was so much fun. Well played to both Pippington as well as Pharaoh of War. That was a fierce cockfight for sure. And really cool builds. I mean, I love the Savage Orc Biggins and the Squig play. The Squigs give enough mass to block Chariots and Minotaurs and really allow those Savage Orc Biggins to lay that whooping. And on top of that, the Goblin Big Boss, a great counter against Chariot and cycle charging play with his Tormentor Sword. That was so good and tasty. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. I think I have their names on. Yeah, I have their names on the right side. Okay. We're good to go. So let's go ahead and update the gold score. It's going to be 1-0 right now for Pharaoh of War. And again, it is a best of 3. So we're going to see what these bad boys are picking now. GG. And Chariots don't work on Squigs. Noted, says Pippington. And Pippington is going to his Lizardmen, his favorite. Yes. Oh man. Yes, let out a wah. That was a great game. My goodness. So the initial rounds in my my series here in this tournament are best of 3s, and then the finals are best of 5. So whoever wins this will go on. And I think the 4-player Flash tournament's a pretty fun format. It's like quick, it's digestible, it's you know, it's fast-paced, as they say. So Faust, thank you for the €2 donation. Misha made a good point. Well, Misha often does. Thank you so much for the donation. That goblin was a true hero. Oh, I better get the screen blocker up. So, I mean, they're friends. They're in chat together right now. All right, they're not going to screen snipe one another. But here we go. Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining today. We were Lady Turin and I were actually going to go on a road trip today, but we both slept in so heavily. We were just like, oh man, let's just stay home today and go tomorrow. Oh man. Yeah, and if you guys are enjoying the stream, please make sure to drop a like. It does help out quite a bit from a business perspective, as well as you know, just helping the general community grow. The more likes on a video, the more it's shown to people who aren't in the community, so we can get more people into this awesome Total War Warhammer multiplayer community. So, yes. Screen blocker's up. I just decided to grab Captain Barbosa today because he was in my folder for my Vampire Coast stuff, so I was like, yeah, let's just grab him. He's doing a great job. He is doing a great job, my friends. So Pharaoh of War up 1-0 here. He's going to be going to the Pharaoh of War. I think he's one of, if not the only Egyptian Total War Warhammer content creator here, and he's going to be playing the Tomb Kings, which is very thematic for him. Obviously, it's going to be great, and he's going to be facing off against Pippington again in this second match here. Pippington is a Lizardman main, if I'm not mistaken, so this is going to be a great match, guys. I'm really excited for this. So Felix the Crab, as far as the prize pool goes, these are qualifiers. The first 8 streams are going to be qualifiers, and the grand finals, which is going to have the winners, and I'll go ahead and show you real quick. So you can see here we do have the pieces of 8. And so essentially, whoever wins one of these qualifiers, I need to fix exploding hamsters, like make it like stand on top. I keep forgetting to do that. The winner of each of these is going to earn one of the pieces of 8, and they'll then go on to play in the grand finals. And the grand finals is going to have a prize pool, a pretty substantial one, I'm hoping. I'm going to be looking for sponsors and, you know, getting all that stuff going. So it's going to be good. It's going to be Ever-Chosen style, where it'll be an 8-player tournament. It'll take probably all day, and yeah, it should be fun. Turin, can we get a picture of Bulk Master Turin? Bulk Master Turin? If I'm not that bulky, I don't think. Hey, Richard, let me go ahead and check. Let me go ahead and check, my dude. Yeah, Pharaoh's back. He is back. Oh, let him know they can start. Yeah, I just let him know. We're good. And Richard, thank you for the donation. Wow, really appreciate it. So Richard actually just dropped a fat, erect $50 donation. So thank you so much, Richard. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you're enjoying the Eternal Challenger League and all this other content. And yeah, Richard, man, thank you so much. I'll keep putting on these good shows for you, man. Thank you so much, man. All right. Altaf Outskirts, one of the best multiplayer maps in my opinion. Great combination of line of sight blocking, forest, and open field. It's a really, really good map. Oh, my hands are doing okay. I'm just trying to like take it easy. Yeah, I've been playing. I played like 6 or 7 games yesterday. I have some really good battles on the channel that'll be coming up in the next few days. I don't know if there's any Turkish content creators. All right, so let's see here. What is my opinion? Okay, this is the last non-Warhammer question I'll answer here for this game. What is my opinion on creatine supplements? Well, I used to take creatine back when I was like doing hardcore weightlifting, and it did make a big difference. I felt stronger. I definitely looked a little bulkier, but I don't take it anymore. But I did when I was like 19. I'm 30 now, so this was 11 years ago. But I mean, I had decent success with it. It was really important, from what I found, to drink a ton of water. But really, it did help me. I felt stronger. I felt like I recovered quicker in between sets. But completely anecdotal. I don't know if it's safe. I don't know if it's good for you. So again, I would consult with a professional or look up some actual scientific data. All right, guys. So here we are with game 2 between Pharaoh of War and Pippington, forcing these two clanmates here to fight to the bitter death. Bitter end, bitter death. Either one works, right? So Pharaoh of War is going to be going with the Tomb Kings. He does have Cetra the Imperishable on horseback, which is a pretty good choice. On horseback, he gets anti-large. He's much more of a dinosaur duelist. He can definitely do some work. So it looks like as far as the spells go, he does have the physical resist as well as just a straight up weapon damage. So it's a pretty good kit there, and it's going to trigger the healing on his whole army. Two Tomb Princes going down here, so he does have a Tomb Prince here and here, so a lot of anti-large. So Pippington does go very heavily with like big, angry, erect dinosaurs. These Pharaoh dudes are going to be pretty good against him. On top of that, we have Chariots, Skeleton Archer Chariots here. Front line is going to be Skeleton Warriors. We have Tomb Guard here in the back, so just kind of standard Tomb King's infantry, a combination of Tomb Guard and Chaff units. A couple groups of the Skeleton Archers with the Blessed Legion of Demonetization in the middle. Very important, as it does sunder armor. And yeah, pretty good stuff. King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion. The Chariots are really actually quite good against Temple Guard and, you know, Saurus Warriors and Skinks if you use them correctly. So I really like that play quite a bit. 2 groups of Carrion. Now for the forces of Pippington, he has a massive heavy metal front line of dinosaurs. Saurus Warriors, Temple Guard. I mean, this is a meaty front line, guys. A lot of HP here, a lot of stopping power. On top of that, we have Coldland Spear Riders in the back. A Feral Carnosaur as well, who's going to probably be able to put up a good fight against the Chariot. Well, it'll massacre the Chariots, but against like Cetra and the Tomb Princes, who might have a little bit of trouble. We do have Krokar up on his big dinosaur. We got Feral Cold Ones over here and Coldland Spear Riders. So very, very powerful army for both players. I actually like this one quite a bit. So start when ready. All right, here we go. It's showtime. It's showtime. All right, so the forces of the dinosaurs are going to be marching forward, and the Tomb Kings don't have any Shopkeep Great Bows or anything, so they're probably going to be like, yeah, you know what, let's just march forward and meet them in glorious combat here in the open field. The old ones versus the Bone Daddies here are going to be quite a bit of fun. Lady Turin made me some great coffee. That is so good and tasty. Anyways, Lizardman moving forward. As far as the caster goes, he does have a Skink Priest with Heavens, so he's going to be using Wind Blast. Wind Blast is probably one of the best abilities against Tomb Kings. A single well-placed Wind Blast spell down, let's say for example, Wind Blast is a cone, so you can like rotate it like depending on how you want to cast it. So for example, if there's some archers and Tomb Kings are usually in very tight formations like this, you can just like almost like one-shot them. It is very, very powerful here. So the Chariots are going to be moving forward. Now, Pippington does have Coldland Spear Riders, so if he's very efficient at using his Coldland Spear Riders, the Chariots should do almost no damage to him, because you could just countercharge him with the Coldland Spear Riders and really punish him, but it looks like the Chariots might get some free damage here in the front line as they do charge into some of those Saurus. Now, Pharaoh definitely wants to pull back and run, because the Coldland Spear Riders are coming in with a full shove, and Hand of the Gods coming down. Ooh, and that does some really good damage to Cetra, so Krokar using his Hand of the Gods, getting some huge value in the very, very, beginning of the game here. Saurus Warriors are going to be engaging with Skeletons. That's going to be a great engagement for Pippington. Tomb King frontline, it's going to have some trouble against just the meat and raw power here of the Temple Guard and some of these other troops. But Cetra and the Tomb Prince charge in, and they're going to put a huge hurting here on these cold ones. The Tomb Princes have anti-large. Cetra went on horseback. It does actually have anti-large as well. We do have a bit of a pit fight here, and you can also see that this Feral Carnosaur is going to be charging in. But Pippington needs to get these guys going after some of the large, high-value targets. So it looks like he might be pathing into the back to go after the archers, which is interesting. I don't know if that's the most efficient way to use those guys, but he does need to shut down the archers eventually. The King Takesha's Scorpion Legion is coming back here as well, and this is a tough situation because now both of the Feral Carnosaurs and Krokar and the Feral Carnosaur are going to be poisoned. Cetra's coming back with the Blessed Blade of Petra, which gives him massive combat stats. And good play by Pippington actually escaping there before things got a little bit nasty. Feral Cold Ones are going to be much more efficient at cutting through archers. They have more unit models. And here you can see the Goon Squad of the Goon Squad of Pharaoh is just going to be hunting down these dinosaurs and trying to rampage them. The Frontline Engagement is going to be favoring the dinos a little bit. You can see here these skeletons are crumbling. The Tomb Guard are actually holding very efficiently against the Saurus Warriors, and they might actually win that fight. Over here, Tomb Guard are holding pretty well, so the Tomb Guard seem to really be the MVP so far for the Tomb Kings. In the back, the Chariots actually are going to engage the Feral Cold Ones, which is a good engagement for the Feral Cold Ones. I don't know how that will go, actually. That's interesting, but I feel like the Feral Cold Ones will perform very well there. Tomb King's Archers in the back, so he does have the Blessed Legion of Demonetization still, I think, or they might have actually been killed by the Wind Blasts. The Skeleton Archers here, and it looks like the Blessed Legion was killed by Wind Blast spells from the Lizardmen, which is very, very good play there. The Summon Shopti in the back are going to be coming in from the Tomb Kings. They're going to be very ominously turning around and charging these Saurus Warriors. The Saurus don't have the best AP, so this is going to be a good engagement for the Shopti here as they do pile in and attack these Saurus Warriors. Skeleton Archers, in the meantime, just shooting in and wasting some of these Saurus over here as well. And look at that. I would not have expected the Skeleton Archer Chariots to actually just beat down those Feral Cold Ones so badly. I mean, I thought they would put up a better fight, but that's actually a little surprising. So the Skeleton Archer Chariots soloing those Feral Cold Ones in the back. Over here you can see there's it looks like there was a Hand of the Gods going down. Oh, there it is! And it looks like it goes for Cetra, but it was a little bit of a miss. And now we have this triple Goon Squad coming in. I love the Tomb Prince Goon Squad against dinos. It's so powerful. So Krokar's going in. He does have the Sacred Spawning. Pharaoh actually kites back with 2 of them and then countercharges with the 3rd one. So he's having very, very good micro here as he does get a double rear charge here into Krokar. But Krokar has Temple Guard. So Pharaoh can't really afford to stay here. He's just going to get spanked if he does. And here Pippington falls back. He pulls in the Feral Carnosaur. And Pippington pulls forward with the Temple Guard as well. So very good play from Pippington. Both players countering each other very efficiently. We have a fierce, fierce cockfight on our hands. So over here, the curse is going to be going down because Cetra takes a holy whooping from that Feral Carnosaur, just getting taken down so incredibly low. That thing hits like a truck. Oh no, and Crocky G's coming in with the steel chair in the back. Krokar coming in roaring, and his double dinosaur stomp all over Cetra. And that actually might be the thing that turns the game right there. Cetra the Imperishable getting caught in a bad situation. The Temple Guard here are able to pin down the Tomb Princes, the supporting elements of Cetra's forces. And yeah, I mean, he definitely needs to grab both of his Feral Carnosaurs and finish off Cetra right now. I mean, going after the Tomb Princes is fine and dandy, but yeah, just finish off Cetra if you can. Other Feral Carnosaur gets the Cold Blood, so it's actually not rampaging. So very good play from Pippington. Granted, he's also taking quite a bit of damage on Krokar as well, so very, very close game between these two clanmates here. So Krokar is at about 2,800 HP. Man, Cetra is holding on to the bitter end, but he only has 52 HP. Cetra the Imperishable does fall to Krokar. Krokar and Grimlock are able to take him down, so he falls off his horse there. Now there's Temple Guard, and I think that's going to be game. I think Pippington's going to take this one with this engagement here. The Temple Guard just doing such a good job pinning down these Tomb Princes. You can see the Tomb King Chariot trying to come in and save them, but I think that's going to be too little too late. The rest of the forces, it's a pretty even battle aside from that. I mean, the archers in the back were taken out by some Cold One Spear Riders. Saurus in the front are fighting to the bitter end, but that Krokar, Feral Carnosaur, Steel Chair was beautiful. Very, very good play from Pippington. He was able to rally back there from a couple tough engagements, pull out the W against the Tomb King. So guys, we are going to game 3. That's it. The double dinosaur stomp. Man, that was good. Tag teamed by the dinosaurs. Well played to Pippington. He put on quite a show there. So let's go ahead and update the score here. And we have game 3 between these two ferocious competitors here. Yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Goddamn. Pharaoh's like, damn, Wind Blast. Oh, man. Yeah, those Wind Blasts basically one-shotted his archers in the back. That was brutal. Yeah, that was a great game. Saurus Shockbach, or whatever it is they say. Oh, man. That was a good game. Game 3. Start when ready. I'll let them know they can just start, so. Those are great games. Those are great games. Lore be damned. This is a world of madness. I know. Yes. Skaven can do well against Lizardmen. Yeah, it's a fun matchup, actually. I think that one's quite fun. I mean, Lizardmen can do well against a lot of factions in the hands of the right player, for sure. I mean, they're harder to play, but yeah, Lizardmen are fun. They're definitely on the weaker end of the spectrum, in my opinion, but they can still beat any faction, right? In the hands of a good player, and that's what's really cool about this game. Yes, there's factions that are stronger. You have factions like Vampire Counts, and Chaos is very strong as well, but they can be beaten by the worst factions in the hands of a right player who really is a specialist in their respective races, which makes... That's what's so incredible about Total War Warhammer. The balance, the fact that they're able to have any semblance of balance in such an environment is insane, right? So very big props to Creative Assembly there, for sure. All right, guys, we're getting there. Yeah, smash the like button. Pip's got to go Dawi, you think so? I think they're... So how these qualifiers work is the two players can either have gentlemen's agreements on the faction picks, just like, hey, I'll play this, oh, sure, I'll play this. A little bit more casual, they both make sure they're happy. And if players can't come into an agreement and they're unhappy and their opponent won't agree with them, they can do a pick and ban system that we do have in place. So there's kind of two levels to pick in armies. So, yes. Pip's got to go down. We will see. Shetland Apache, we will see. I think that a lot of the factions that don't have the DLC treatment yet. So, for example, we have, the Skaven and the Dinosaurs, the Lizardmen. Neither of them have received their Regiments of Renown yet. And if you look at the history of DLCs and RORs for different factions, Creative Assembly often uses Regiments of Renown to fix issues with factions, right? You had the High Elves who couldn't really kill large targets very efficiently, right? So they're like, all right, let's give them Sisters of Averlorn. And then they were able to have like a really good armor-piercing missile unit that could counter some of the big units that they often struggled with. And that goes back to the beginning of Total War Warhammer and the franchise as a whole. RORs and new units that do come with DLCs really do help factions get fleshed out. And once the Skaven and the Dinosaurs get those, I think they're going to be on par, if not better, than a lot of the other factions. So, I don't know about nerfs off the top of my head. Yeah. Albino Stormvermin, Regiment Renown, that'd be interesting. So we're actually going to have Beastmen. Pharaoh of War is going to be taking the reins of the Beastmen, and Pippington is actually going to be trying to beat Pharaoh at his own game with the Tomb Kings here. So yeah, this is going to be a good cockfight for sure. Big thanks to all of you guys for joining today. Big thanks. It's been a fun run. I'm having a great time. Tomb Kings and Beastmen. This is a fun matchup. The Beastmen front line can definitely lay some hurt. The Gore Herds, like with the dual wielding variant, they can cut through skeletons and Tomb Guards so quick for their cost. Yeah, I mean, Centaurs can also... I really like Centaurs with throwing axes, but again, there also is the Minotaur style of play if you want to use them to take out constructs. Because more often than not, you see that the Tomb Kings will just bring like 2 Tomb Scorpions and like a Cambrian War Sphinx or something, and it's really tough for the Beastmen to handle, actually. But Minotaurs are pretty good. Butchers of Kalkengard, you have Centaurs with throwing axes, which is a little bit more micro-intensive. You have the Gorbel as well, who's actually quite a bit better. Lady Turns here, Zach. Yeah, she's hanging out in the living room. She actually makes the thumbnails for all these Flash tournaments here. Well, this is the Eternal Challenger League, but she made a lot of the graphics and the brackets and the pieces of 8. She made all that stuff. Best wife I could ask for. She is the best. No, you're not that late, but you just got here. Yeah, we've had 2 games. A lot more Warhammer coming in today. We have another best of 3 and then a best of 5 final, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. You are all good, my friend. It sounds like it, Gary, but I mean, like, honestly, you can play... It's interesting because there is that point to be made that, like, some factions just can't compete, but, honestly, the nature of the game, it's a campaign-centric game, right? Like, the game was designed for the campaign. Multiplayer is a bit of a tertiary thing when it comes to Total War Warhammer. Granted, that's changing. Some of the meetings we've had with, like, Creative Assembly and talking to them about the future and stuff, they obviously have their eye on multiplayer a lot more than they have in the past. Due to the efforts of the community and the tournaments and all that stuff. So it's like the DLCs are more structured around the campaign, right? Like providing a player with a new experience. And multiplayer is a bit of a second look. So but that, again, that is changing. And I still think this game is awesome in multiplayer. I don't know about like a true major esport. It's a little bit tough when you can't have perfect... I mean, even like games like StarCraft have gone through points where like people have felt certain races aren't balanced and stuff, but it's really tough to balance this many races. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to fill out like an arena or any sort of thing and have like a massive audience interested in watching, but it's definitely tricky for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely tricky. But I mean, I think we have a great little esports community. I just don't know about like it hitting the mainstream. It would be really fun. I would be all about that. So the other two competitors for the day, let me go ahead and take a look while they're, we'll show you guys the bracket. So we have Pippington and Pharaoh of War in their final best of 3 here, their final match in the best of 3. And then we do have Pipes as well as Halo, who are going to be coming in, two very avid tournament players. Pipes, of course, is a streamer over on Twitch, a very, very nice guy. Awesome content. And yeah, the winner of this match will be facing the winner of this one. And that's pretty much it. And the winner of the whole day will be earning one of the pieces of 8, which qualifies them for the grand finals, which is basically going to be like the Ever-Chosen Invitational. We're going to have sponsors. It's going to be big, good, and tasty. I think double Gorbel can be good in some matchups, like especially against Bretonnia and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. I used to play StarCraft quite a bit. Oh man, I would love there to be like a big esports scene for Total War. I mean, there definitely is one. It exists. Oh man. You know, Nathan, I actually haven't worked out with Italian Spartacus, so I can't tell you how sweaty he gets when he works out. I mean, I would assume I'm half Italian. He's like full-blooded Italian, and I know that my Italian side of the family tends to sweat quite a bit, so I would assume that maybe it's a lot, but I don't want to make any assumptions. Halo is a streamer? Okay, cool. Well, we'll have him drop links in chat here whenever he's ready. I haven't seen his Twitch channel yet. Oh yeah, I mean, I play Warhammer 40k. I have a Death Guard army. I love that. I love playing Warhammer 40k. I'm actually just painting Mortarion. He's almost done. Lady Turin actually just finished the wings on Mortarion. It looks really, really good. Oh my god, I have it in the living room. Maybe I'll show you guys. Anyways, back to business. Did I get rid of the screen blocker? No, I didn't. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And here we go. In this third and final game between Pharaoh of War and Pippington, we have a showdown between the Beastmen and the Tomb Kings, which is going to be very fun, fast-paced, and aggressive. We got Goreherds in the front line here for Pharaoh of War, and Goreherds are a pretty good choice. They will mulch through pretty much all the Tomb Kings front line. I mean, some of the higher level ones like Tomb Guard can trade efficiently with them, but still, for their cost, they do very, very well. On top of that, we do have Morka the Shadowgave with his Pimp Claw. Always a pretty good choice. He's tough to snipe. Spirit Leeches aren't going to be terribly effective against him, so yeah, this is going to be good. Top of that, we got a Gorbel. Gorbel's here to deal with big constructs. He's going to be backed up by the Butchers of Kalkengard. So they're going to be looking for Tomb Scorpions and Kemrian War Sphinxes and Titans and all that other fun stuff. In the back, we got Ungor Spearman Herds, Destroyers of Drakwald here, Ungor Spearman Herds. Up on the high ground, we have Centaurs with Throwing Axes, and we have Harpies. So Harpy is a pretty good choice against like fighting Carrion off and just being annoying. But yeah, most of his anti-large is going to come from Big Daddy Gorbel, so yeah, it's going to be fun to see. And for the forces of Pippington, he does have 2 groups of Skeleton Horsemen Archers to counter skirmish, and they're actually a really good counter skirmishing tool against Beastmen. You know, they can outrange Centaurs, they can trade pretty well, and they're relatively quick, so. On top of that, we have a Tomb Scorpion. We also have an Iro Titan. Oh man, this is going to be fun. We got a Titan. Man. So Spirit Leech and the Shem's Burning Gaze, of course. Frontline, it's going to be Tomb Guard, Kepra Guard, Tomb Guard. So a very actually meaty Tomb King army. And you can see it's going to be in a very tight formation here. We have a Necrotect as well. And if you're going with the Tomb Scorpion, Cetra the Imperishable on a Kemrian War Sphinx, oh, Big Daddy Cetra is ready to go. Look how heavy metal he is up there. And then, yeah, I mean, that Necrotect is going to be super high value for sure. So I'll let the players know. Start. Ready. Start when ready. This is going to be a battle. I think Pharaoh has his work cut out for him. This is going to be a tough army to take down. I mean, Gorbel's back is going to be tired because he doesn't have too much. I mean, the Butchers of Kalkengard do have really good AP. So, and you know, Pimp Daddy Morker can do pretty well with his Pimp Claw, but even still, it's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. This could certainly go either way. Is there lightning in like the background here? That's pretty cool. All right, so the forces of the Tomb Kings are going to be marching up the hill here with their Skeleton Horsemen Archers. They're immediately going to be discovering the Harpies, who they can fend off pretty easily. So the Harpies will be falling back. And the Beastmen Herds are going to be advancing. This is actually one of my favorite maps. It makes for so many ridiculous Vanguard deployments up on this hill because both players are often like, I want the high ground, so they'll Vanguard. And I was really hoping we would actually get like a Vanguard fight up here on the cliff. But the Tomb King army is going to be claiming this position on the high ground. And Pharaoh of War could easily just kind of move up here if he wants to. And they could have a bit of a square fight. But yeah, the Beastmen are going to be advancing. As far as the caster goes, we do have Shadow. So we have the Pendulum, Enfeebling Foe, and Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. So there's some funny stuff going on. And it looks like Cetra and the Chariots are kind of lurking on the wings. They could easily probably charge into these Goreherds and get some free value. I mean, the Beastmen don't have too much speed in their army, which is rare. All they really have is like one group of Centaurs. So Centaurs with Throwing Axes are so good against Tomb Kings. I would have liked to have seen a couple of those, like 3 or 4, I think would have been very, very strong. The Destroyers of Drakewald are marching in. The Tomb Scorpion is going to be leading the charge, one of the most annoying units on the Tomb King roster by far. And I think this is pretty hard for the Beastmen. I mean, I think he's going to have his work cut out for him. I know I've said that like 10 times, but I really feel it to be the case. And the Titan is going to be marching up the hill, and he's probably going to be dropping a Shem's Burning Gaze or something on the caster back here maybe, or maybe a Spirit Leech. And it looks like he's going to be using the Burning Gaze here on the Butchers. And the Butchers, if he can actually like pop a model right here. So the Burning Gaze coming across, Let's see how much damage it does. Just that one Minotaur takes all of them. He's like, I'm all right. And they're going to regenerate pretty quick. So Shem's Burning Gaze, pretty limp noodle right there. Definitely not doing a whole lot of damage. So the frontline fight is about to be underway. The Tomb Guard are eagerly awaiting these Beastmen forces. The Carrion up in the skies are maybe going to have some mortal combat with the Harpies. But the Harpies actually do swoop in and shut down the Skeleton Archers temporarily. They get a really nice frontal charge. So great charge there from Pippington. And the Tomb Guard will obviously be able to kind of fend them off. But that was kind of nice for just like pushing them back and gaining that battlefield control. And here come the Gores and the Gorbel and all these guys. Gorbel and the Minotaur is probably going to go after the Titan first, I would imagine. Just because based on their positioning, but I think taking out the Tomb Scorpion as well as is probably a little bit. I mean, the Tomb Scorpions are just so disruptive. But I guess the Titan can't really move, right? So that's pretty much guaranteed value, right? You just have it sit on the Titan and it's going to have to stand and fight you. So the Titan does come down with his Pimp Cane. It looks like a Spirit Leech has been dropped from the Tomb Kings as well. It was the Hyro Titan actually casting it. And he's doing pretty good. You know, it hasn't taken too much damage. These guys have 9,000 HP. It's pretty insane. Down here in the low ground, we have a fight between Gore Herds and Tomb Guard and stuff, but the chariots of the Tomb Kings, is there actually chariots down there? It looks like there is. Cetra's coming up to the high ground as well, and a massive erect pendulum coming down. Beautiful pendulum there from Pharaoh of War, which is able to just absolutely shrek those Kepra Guard and Skeleton Spears and those Tomb Guard. That was a beautiful cast, really disrupting that formation there. The Gorbel is actually going to be fighting Cetra, which is good. A Tomb Scorpion coming in. So right here, you can see that Pippington knows this is a really important fight, so he's pulling all of his heavy metal troops up here. On the low ground, the Gorbels are doing well, but the chariot play from Pippington is just annihilating these Gore Herds. They're not having a good time. They're taking a ton of damage. So very, very well played to Pippington, kind of isolating these guys in the low ground, just chewing them up. Over here, Cetra the Imperishable does get the Enfeebling Foe. Gorbel's trying to get him. Centaurs with throwing axes have charged into the Skeleton Horsemen Archers, but Cetra's going to be falling back trying to help. The Gorbel's sticking on him pretty good. The Enfeebling Foe putting his melee defense down to 15. And Gorbel might be able to do well. The Axe of Men has been popped here, which it must do something else other than just terror, because that is not very helpful here. But anyways, Cetra is taking quite a bit of damage from the Gorbel. Gorbel definitely paying his dues. He's happy that he was buffed recently. Here, the Titan and the Tomb Scorpion, though, are in perfect, pretty much perfect shape, which is tough. And oftentimes in this matchup, when you're playing Beastmen against Tomb Kings, you simply need to get all of your Gore Herds and just basically kill all of the chaff units you can. And then from there, you can usually surround the constructs. Because if they're saturated by Skeleton Spears and other things like that, it's going to be really tough to take them out. Butchers of Kalkengard are down to 9 models. They've been taking a ton of damage, actually, probably from the Skeletons and some of the chaff units here. Hyro Titan is in pretty good health as well. I just don't know if the Beastmen are going to have enough anti-large to deal with this army. It just feels like the Tomb Kings have too much stopping power. Centaurs with throwing axes, for example, could sit right back here. They could have like 3 Centaurs with throwing axes right here. And they could just sit on this Titan for the entire battle, just blow their whole load all over the Titan's face. And, that would be enough, right? But in this case, it's going to be a little bit tough. Yeah, the Iron Titan here is just fighting. He's happy. He's getting the restore effect. Now, the Beastmen are starting to kind of chew through some of the Skeletons and some of the more low-tier troops on the ground here. But the Butchers of Kalkengard are pretty much out of the picture. Cetra is just kind of trotting around happily. The Necrotect is in good health. But Big Daddy Gorbel has been doing a ton of work. I mean, his back is going to be tired by the end of this game. He's just been chasing down Cetra, chasing down this Iron Titan. And, I suspect that maybe Cetra and the 3 constructs might try and snipe out the Gorbel. Because if they do, there's not going to be a whole lot left to take out those large targets. In the meantime, there's going to be some big old witchcraft going down here. Usex's Incantation of Desiccation, lowering melee attack and melee defense. So very, very good play right there. We definitely have a very close game on our hands. The Beastmen are finally starting to get through all the chaff units. King Nikesha's Scorpion Legion, of course, is one of the exceptions. And it looks like there's going to be a new Shopti summon here as well. So Pippington definitely seems to be in pretty good shape. Granted, Cetra is getting low. Mork of the Shadowgave is in pretty good shape here. It looks like he might be holding. No, he used both Chaos Spawn. So 1 Chaos Spawn down here. And look at that. The Chaos Spawn are actually putting a bit of a hurting here on the Tomb Scorpion. You're able to poison it. They have enough mass to pin it in place. And you can actually see the Titan is trying to move through. But the Chaos Spawn here are able to do a really good job at actually pinning that in. And look at this. It looks like Pharaoh of War's Chaos Spawn play might actually be able to kind of pin down and kill one of these constructs here. Big Daddy Gorbel is just giving Cetra the business. I cannot believe this. I mean, it looks like he had almost no answers. Oh, and Gorbel, of course. A very vintage Gorbel play right there, being knocked into the Shadow Realm by those Skeleton Archer Chariots. And yeah, we have a very, very good fight. I mean, this is back and forth. But granted, the power of the Beastmen is going to slowly start to dissipate once their Chaos Spawn are gone. He still has 10 Chaos Spawn right here who are just doing the Chaos God's work. I mean, they're pinning these guys in place. But look at that. Restore going down. Nero's Incantation of Protection is going to be very good. And the Centaurs with throwing axes are pretty much out of ammunition. But this Gorbel is just like soloing these constructs. Over here on the far side, some chariots are coming back out. They're going to be running down some of the Beastmen reserves, which is a very good place. So Pippington, of course, being a very seasoned tournament player, is going to be grabbing the Skeleton Archers, going after the scraps, making sure the Beastmen have, very little reinforcement power. Up here on the high ground, these Skeleton Horsemen Archers are shooting into the Beastmen herds. They're doing pretty good work, but yeah, we have a pit fight. Melkos Misfine Masma going down right here on the King Nikesha's Scorpion Legion, trying to work those guys down. And the Samadhu Shopti are almost gone as well. So both players have almost lost all of their summon support. Big Daddy Gorbel is sitting here looking into the distance, contemplating his future here. He definitely needs to get back in ASAP. I mean, Gorbel could probably get in and finish off this Necrotech pretty quick, or the Tomb Scorpion, but man, he has just been lifting heavily. But as far as what the Beastmen have left, I mean, nice little move there. Gorbel was able to dodge that, but yeah, the Beastmen don't have too many units left in general, right? I mean, a lot of routing forces here. Some Ungor down here who are fighting against a Skeleton Horseman chariot. I mean, I don't know if Pimp Daddy Morker can carry this all on his back. I mean, on the low ground, the Harpies are actually able to finish off some Skeleton Spears with the support of these Destroyers of Drakwold. If those guys can maybe get up to the high ground and reinforce, but Beastmen are just piling in with so many forces, just trying to get back in here. This is just such a pit fight. Both of these players really wanting to advance to the finals here, as King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion might be the difference maker, though. They're holding, they're not giving out, they're poisoning everything. Gorbel is now going to be chopping on the Iron Titan, but he still has 5,000 HP, guys. That's like as much HP as like most legendary lords, right? More. And Setra the Imperishable is actually able to get over here and rout off this Bracium with the Lord of Shadows. So he's going to be sent running to the Shadow Realm here, 198. And yeah, he's getting chased off. Oh, but Gorbel coming in. So the Gorbel intercepts Setra, comes out of nowhere with the steel chair. And you can see the chariots are coming in as well. Oh, and they run Gorbel over. I mean, he took a couple of those charges like an absolute champ, but the last chariot was able to knock him over. But I still think he did some pretty good damage to Setra. Now, the bounce power is still surprisingly even. Morker the Shadowgave is so sticky and annoying. He's one of the toughest units in the game to kill. And you can see a lot of these Tomb King's units are actually crumbling here. So the Tomb Guard and the Kepler Guard are very, very close to death. And Gorbel, again, is fighting up against this Iron Titan. And Destroyers of Drakwold, they're still alive, though. These guys are a very potent anti-large specialist. They're easily going to be able to kill all these Skeleton Archers. I don't know if Pippington realized that those were the Destroyers of Drakwold here, but yeah, you can see that the Skeleton Horseman Archers are definitely going to have some trouble there. Now, Gorbel is still alive, but Gorbel's being like 3v1'd. I mean, he's being run over by the Iron Titan, the Necrotech, the Kepler Guard, all these guys. Setra the Imperishable is down to 1,400 HP. Such an incredibly close game. I feel like this should be the finals of the stream here. This is just great. So right here, we do have the Goreherds over here on the high ground. Setra, again, just cleaning up the scraps, which is a very veteran-savvy play here. And the Centaurs with throwing axes are somewhat online. Morker's fighting the Tomb Scorpion, and it seems like he's doing pretty good, but the bounce of power is going in the favor of the Tomb Kings. Gorbel is trying everything he can. Maybe Gorbel can get a good charge on this Tomb Scorpion, but I have a feeling he's just going to be sent to the Shadow Realm when he takes the engagement. Oh, Gorbel, no! Gorbel just got punted down the hill. He just got straight up Sparta kicked off that. Oh, man, that is just absolute insanity here. So, yeah, guys, this is quite intense. Morker, the Shadowgave here, just up on the high ground holding. But it looks like the Tomb Kings are going to be able to take this one. I think that it was very well fought by both players. A super close game. Well, yeah, the Titan was able to just pimp cane the Gorbel pretty hard. Plus, there's a Tomb Scorpion here. I don't think Gorbel's going to be able to hold for much longer, although the bounce of power is creeping a little bit as the Claw is able to hit Setra. Over here, we have Centaurs and Goreherds fighting. But, man, I think the Beastmen are just out of juice. I don't think they have anything left. It's mainly just going to be Morker here. And, yeah, I think that's it, guys. What a great battle. Big Daddy Gorbel going down like a true patriot of the Beastmen. He just takes that pincer right to the face there, which is always a good time. A stinger. And down goes Morker the Shadowgave. I mean, he's going to fight for a while. He's going to go for some time, but there's no way he can kill all of this. An Iron Titan with, 3,400 HP, and Morker actually is weak to fire, and the Titan does do fire damage, so there is some pretty good counters there. And with that, Pippington is going to be moving on to the finals, guys. Wow, that was crazy. That was insane. That Gorbel went flying. I feel like the Gorbel, if he actually flew through the air like that, would actually like do damage to its target. But beautiful play by Pippington as well as Pharaoh. Got to make sure to get those guys back for future events. Man, they both put on a great show. All right, so Pippington here going up 2-1. Well played. So Pippington is going to take down his clanmate here in a very close contested series, and he's going to be moving on to the finals of today's tournament. So yeah, man, that was a great one. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump out, say GG to our friends here, and we're going to be moving on to the next match. That was amazing. See you in finals, Pip. All right, so they're going to chat, share some fond memories of the game. Yeah, the Gorbel was an MVP. He, like, took down all those constructs. I mean, Gorbel did work that game. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and join up in the next one here. And, oh, no. Be able to type. Yeah, those are some of the best fights I've seen in a while. Those were so good. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break here while I set things up and get some water, so I will be back in just a moment. So enjoy some classical music. All right, guys, and we're back. Let's go ahead and get that screen blocker up. Just need to update the scoreboards real quick here, and it will be go time. So thank you guys so much for joining today. I see that we're getting the second win here. Richard Wirtz, thank you for the $10 donation here. Really appreciate it, my man. And also Wicked D with the donation as well. Let's go Pipes is what he says. Oh man, we got some favorites here, it would seem. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get things going. Give me 1 second. So we got Professor Pipes. Professor Pipes. Maybe we'll have to have like a best of 3 with Professor Pone someday to see who the true professor is. So we're going to update the scoreboards, and then from there, we're good to go. Richard Wirtz, thank you for the fat, juicy, erect $50 donation. My God. Just making it rain, Richard. Thank you, man. Thank you, dude. Oh, my God. All right. It seems the hype levels are up after those games. Those were some great battles. Hopefully you guys are finding these entertaining. Again, Richard, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. And this is going to be Halo. Oh, are they in the same clan? Oh, we have 2 more clanmates battling. I didn't even know that. Okay. I knew the first 2 were, but I didn't know these guys were. Oh, man, that's going to be fun. And this is going to be... We'll call them Prof Pipes, just so it fits within the scorecard. All right. And I'll let them know. Start when ready. Cool. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Hey, you're welcome, Robert. Yeah, I figured it could be a little bit intrusive when I'm trying to give commentary. There were some great points made about that, so yeah. Hey, no worries. You can go back and watch those games. They'll be there, so. Yeah, the big thanks for the donations there, Richard. So let's give it up for him, man. And Christopher Bruns coming in with the donation as well. Thank you so much on PayPal, Christopher. I do see that, so thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Halo has the support of the Lizardman people here in chat. So here we are with game 1 between Professor Pipes and Halo, 2 clanmates, and they're going to have a showdown between the Vampire Coast. So it's essentially the War of the Lizard Trinkets. I don't know if we're going to see Luther Harkin. Granted, he is a very competitive pick here, but yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So both games, we've had 2 clan members fighting each other, which is fun. I didn't even know these 2 were clan members. I had no idea when I made the brackets. I know, Constantine. It's hard. I'm not a morning person. I stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning. Oftentimes I sit there with Lady Turin and we paint Warhammer 40k. Do you guys want to see that? You guys want to see a little more Mortarion action? I can show you the wings she did. They're awesome. I feel like it'll be a little pixelated, but I'll go get them after this maybe, and after this best of 3, and I'll show you guys. All right, so let me go ahead and get rid of the block here. We'll be good to move forward to the battle. This is actually a really good map. I like this one quite a bit. You have like 2 little funny forest areas, and then up here there's a bit of a lip where you can have some interesting tactics going on. Noctilus is definitely Grumpy Cat. The orange sherbet slan, though, is like my favorite. The blueberry slan, you got all the flavors of the rainbow with the lizardmen. All right. I got rid of Barbosa. He's good. Anna's Mortarion is... so basically, she's painting the wings of Mortarion in the base. She's doing like the rocks he's standing on and the little nurglings. And I'm painting the main body of Mortarion. I'm doing like the head and the armor and the weapon. But her wings are the best part. She did such a good job. They look so goddamn good. In terms of 40k, yeah, I play 40k. I have a Death Guard army. I have like 3 or 4 different lists. I have a Death Guard, a pure Death Guard army that's 2,000 points. I have a Death Guard army with a Black Legion patrol detachment, which is really fun. I run a Death Guard army for the most part. I run like Terminators and Mortarion. And then for the Black Legion patrol detachment, I run a Black Legion Lord. I run the new one, the guy with the Thunderhammer, Obsidious Malix. And then I run 40 Chaos Cultists, 40 of them. And essentially when they get low, I then use Tide of Traders to bring them all back with 40 models. It's insane. It is so powerful. Yeah, Christopher Bruns, thank you for the $5 donation. Yes. Going for that golden demon, not me. Lady Turin maybe could, but not me, that's for sure. All right, guys, so back to Warhammer. Total War Warhammer. So here we are with the first showdown between Professor Pipes and his glorious clanmate here, Halo. So, for the forces of the Vampire Coast, we do have Aranis Assault Spite. She has Anti-Large, she has the Fisherman's Net, she has the Kraken's Bane, she has a ton of really good tools against large targets. So if there are any big dinos kind of bum rushing in, she can spearfish them in place. However, he can't be used against flying units, so it'd be so powerful, actually. If she could, like, throw a net up in the skies against the Pterodon Riders, that'd be so funny. But for his main core, it's going to be Depth Guard and Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. Now, one thing I would do a little bit differently from my anecdotal experience is put the Depth Guard behind the Deckhand mobs, because they actually do take a lot of damage up front. They have low melee defense and a low model count, so you need to be careful with that. But nonetheless, they're so good against Dino Infantry. In the back, he does have one Carronade here. He's got the Black Spot, some Halberds to defend them. He does have an Necrofex Colossus and a Morngul Haunter, who is great here. The Haunter, he has the pimp slap of the gods. With that wingspan on his arms, he can get that huge like slap and angle, and he definitely does a ton of work. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the forces of the Vampire Coast. A very defensive formation as usual. Let's let them know they can start when ready. And I'll let them know, no need to wait once in game. Cool. And for the forces of the dinos, it looks like he does have some Pterodon Riders up in the skies, which are good. They can disrupt deck droppers, they can harass gun lines, they can dive cannons, they're just a solid choice here. And you kind of have to bring them, because if you don't, the deck droppers can really punish you too hard. Whole front line is going to be skink cohorts with javelins. Looks like in the back he does have Sora Spears, so he's expecting some big boys. And in the forest, he has a massive lizard battalion of riders. He's got Cold on Spear Riders. He does have Krokgar with the Hand of the Gods. And yeah, this is going to be quite a force that he has here. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see how this goes. And of course, the Skink Priest with the Lore Beast. He does have Flock of Doom, as well as the transformation of Kadan. Yes, it is time. It is time. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for your generous donations. Man, that just caught me off guard. So yeah, especially Richard, man, thank you. Thank you for the fat ones. I really appreciate it. All right, Necrofex Colossus time. My early predictions, I think that, I don't know, it's really going to come down to the cav play. Because when somebody invests this much in like heavy cav, if they're able to kind of circumvent the defenses and get on the appropriate targets in isolation, like the Colossus, and the Morngul Haunter is actually a large target as well. So the Colton Spear Riders can melt them very, very quickly. So, but the Vampire Coast does have a nice like terrain position, because they have this like lip right here that they're able to kind of caddy corner. So yeah, I don't know, but the dinos can hide in the forest and, you know, kind of really play that patient game if they want to. And eventually Saurus will kind of burn through some of these troops. But yeah, the Depth Guard are just going to kill Skink so fast. They're going to kill him so fast. Here they go. We have a sip of coffee here. The Colossus is getting his big cannon ready. It's showtime. He's going to probably be shooting at Saurus. That would probably be some of his better bets. The Black Spot is easily going to be able to counter the Pterodon Riders. And the Carronade probably is going to want to just shoot at Pterodon Riders in the meantime. But once the Dino Cav do come out of the forest here, the Cold One Spear Riders, that's going to be the appropriate target. So Professor Pipes getting some pretty good volleys here with the Black Spot, able to shoot back these Pterodon Riders, and honestly just keep those bad boys in reserve. Maybe pull them around the back, wait till things are a little bit more compromised, and then from there you can drop Fire Leech Bolas, which do really good damage against Deckhand mobs, and even against Depth Guard, it probably wouldn't do the terrible job. I mean, the AP is very low, but Depth Guard are relatively squishy. They're kind of like a Berserker unit. So the cannons and the Depth Guard, the cannons and the Carronade, or the Necrofex Colossus, are shooting into the Pterodon Riders here. They have taken out a model, which is pretty nice. And it looks like the Lizard dinos are being very patient in the forest. So that's a good play by Halo. Just waiting until his front line gets there and just causes some disruption before he sends out his cav. Oh man, but those Pterodon Riders, you never want to fly sideways with the Colossus. It's so good. If you fly sideways, it's just going to pick off like half your formation here. So right now, these Pterodon Riders definitely getting capped pretty badly. The Black Spot doing some pretty good work. Oh man, this is not a good situation. These Pterodon Riders need to get back. They're taking way too much damage. And the spears from the dinos are coming in and, are doing a little bit of decent poke. Some Roman Legion tactics here coming in from these skink cohorts. And yeah, definitely focusing down the Depth Guard would be pretty nice. But oh, look at the rock drop right there. The Pterodon Riders with the fat, angry rock drop. I actually haven't seen someone do that in a long time, but that actually did a ton of damage against that Black Spot, but I don't know if it was worth it. I mean, all three of his Pterodon Riders pretty much got put in a trash can, and those are not like cheap free. They ain't free. So the Depth Guard in the front are going to be taking the spears, and also remember, they don't heal unless they're in melee combat. So if he's able to kind of kite and poke them a little bit, that can be quite strong. But the Colossus generating some huge value right now, and just shrekking these Pterodon Riders. You can see every time they come in, they're just getting blasted in the face again. The Carronade definitely paying its dues. Just keep them in reserve and wait for the main infantry fight, I would say. So the Cold One Spear Riders, these are going to be the deciding factor. If he can be efficient with Croc R and his Cap Squad here with the Cold One Spear Riders, I mean, he could definitely do well this game, but it's really going to come down to that because the rest of his army is definitely not performing super well here in the front line. But the Sword of Spears have engaged here against the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, and it looks like the Depth Guard have taken quite a bit of damage. They've actually lost 2 models. There is a Vampire Fleet Captain though, so there's Invocation of Nehek and the Drowned Dead are still available. And yeah, these Pterodon Riders are just getting shreked. A very good summon though. He was actually able to summon a Manticore. But Araness is coming with the peg leg. She's coming in. She's got that anti-large bonus. And yeah, this Manticore is not going to last long. Although it does kill a cannon, so that's not bad. I mean, it's doing okay so far. Spearfisher's Net, of course, does trap it in place, lower its melee defense. And yeah, it's probably going to start rampaging into halberds and just dying. In the back, Pterodon Riders providing some Overwatch fire, but the Depth Guard are going to be pretty scary here in the front. And the Black Spot is just going to be shooting at the Skink Priest with the Lore of Beast, which is not good at all. That guy needs to be a little bit more careful. He doesn't have to give that trade, right? But look at this. A massive flank coming in from the Cold One Spear Riders. He needs to like send one over here, one here, and one up the pipe in the back. Like he needs to split his pressure and not run them as one unit because that's going to make it much easier to counter, right? So it looks like he's switching onto the Cold One, or the Morngul Haunter here, and the Colossus, which is going to be good. And yeah, I mean, I still think having one like go up and around so it forces his opponent to deal with a little bit more would be good. But nonetheless, he gets a good engagement. So well played here to Alo getting into the back pocket. And he also gets that perfect charge on the Colossus. So he's on the right targets. He's on the Haunter. He's on the Colossus. Croc R is here. Croc R is going to kill the Morngul Haunter incredibly quick, especially with Hand of the Gods if he decides to blast him in the face. But the problem is Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs are coming in with the polearms. Oh, nobody changes them at the last second. Man, those guys need to be over here helping. You can see Aranessa is coming over with their anti-large. And Aranessa actually gives anti-large bonuses to nearby troops, which is very powerful. And on that note, you can see Croc R and his Goon Squad are going to be falling back, having got some pretty good damage on the Colossus as well as the Haunter. And the Frontline Engagement is... It's pretty back and forth. I mean, the Depth Guard are taking a ton of damage, but wherever they go, they essentially win their engagement. But these ones have actually been kited pretty well. Over here, Sword of Spears have cleaned up shop. It looks like they killed the last of the zombies here. Oh no, and now they're going to get the Vampire Fleet Captain. He's going to start taking a ton of damage against those from those Saurus. Even Sword of Spears hit very hard. They have 42 weapon strength. And Cold One Spear Riders are going to be charging in. Croc EG coming in with the Hand of the Gods, going to start roasting this Morngul Haunter, who did get hit with an Invocation of Nehek. And here you can see the Pterodon Riders are trying to come in and help. But oh my gosh, look at the burst damage on that Morngul Haunter. Croc R with his anti-large bonus doing so much damage. I mean, if he can kill the Haunter here, that's going to be a really nice grab that could potentially get the Dinos back in the game because they need something. They're in dire straits for sure. I mean, losing those Pterodon Riders is very, very tough in my opinion. So here, these Sword of Spears are doing a pretty good job here against the Vampire Fleet Captain. Another Summon Manticore, unfortunately, does rampage into some of these halberds, but it looks like some Skinks are able to get around the back and actually shut down the cannon. So the Bounce of Power is actually coming back into the middle with those hero Skinks able to shut down the Carronade. And yeah, the Cold One Spear Riders are falling back, and that Morngul Haunter is not in good shape. In the Spearfisher's Net coming down from Araness Assault Spite, able to actually lock down these Cav here, and that pretty much seals their fate. They're going to be dying to these zombies and some of those other troops here. But the other Cav are going to be charging in. Croc EG coming in as well, and still quite a bit of Spears and Saurus. So right now, Halo needs to grab these guys and push them in to the Necrophex Colossus here. He needs everything firing on all cylinders. Croc EG, man, just doing some heavy lifting for sure. But the Haunter's actually going to be going down. The Haunter is so low, he's crawling. He's like, help me, I'm too weak, Anakin, help me. He's just crawling back to the Colossus and Aranessa. Man, Croc R, you need to run back, go up and around, and finish off that Haunter. That Haunter cannot be allowed to live, because if it gets an Invocation of Nehek, that's going to be so much trouble. So Croc R needs to be the hero of his people and go finish that guy off. Maybe drop a Hand of the Gods or something, because the Colossus and Depth Guard are still in pretty good shape. Over here, we have Sword of Spears just cleaning up. The cannon is offline. These Skinks, unfortunately, are going to go down to the Depth Guard pretty rock hard. Yeah, I don't know, Croc R, it looks like he's taking a bit of a wide route. I mean, that Haunter needed to die. That was like his in, right? But even with Croc R being in pretty good shape, the Pterodon Riders did not pay for themselves. The Black Spot has been firing all game. And, you know, Aranessa is a great anti-large duelist, so fighting against Croc R would be pretty easy for her, especially considering the Vampire Fleet Captain is here. But yeah, I think that might be it. I mean, I feel like the Vampire Coast is going to take this game very, very close up, but I really feel like the Pterodon Riders just getting gooned like that, I mean, they could have caused a ton of disruption, right? Oh, and Hand of the Gods coming from downtown, and it is going to be blasting the Vampire Fleet Captain, actually. So not going after the Haunter, who's very, very low here. And yeah, unfortunately, that Haunter is going to be healing because he does have the hunger. So the longer he fights unimpeded, the more he's going to be healing. So Bounce of Power massively going in the favor of Professor Pipes here, and that's going to be game, as they call it. Man. Help me, I'm so weak. Help me. Man, that was a good game. That was a good game. I just think the Pterodon Riders were the big kind of clinch there. And also when he did engage in the back line with the Cold One Spear Riders, you don't need to put all three on the same target because 80% of them aren't going to be fighting, right? Only so many can pile in and fight. So there should have been like multi-pronged pressure. The Cold One Spear Riders should have been charging into the front line, disrupting the Depth Guard, or maybe going after some of the gun pieces. But still, he played well. I think it's a hard matchup for the dinosaurs. I certainly think Vampire Coast, it's pretty tricky, but Professor Pipes played a tight game. He had those Spearfishers nets. He kept his troops alive. The Necrofex Colossus was able to pimp it out, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So very well played. Let's go ahead and update the scorecard here. That's going to be 1-0 for Prof Pipes. And remember, it is a best of 3, so we're going to be going to the second game here in this best of 3 series. And the winner, of course, will move on to the final. So well played. Well played. Start, next, when ready. Change, map. Cool. So we'll hang tight. XMT must be their clan name. It looks like a clan tag. I think Vampire Ghost has a hard matchup versus High Elves. High Elves are so efficient against him. Yeah. When is the next Who Would You Win coming out? So Marcus Bird, anyone who's wondering, if you guys aren't subscribed to Lore Master of Sotek, please make sure to go over to his channel and check him out. We have a collaboration coming out in the next couple days, if I'm not mistaken. And it's going to be the Warhammer Who Would Win series. So we talk about characters and lore, and he basically answers who would win. And just to give you guys a couple teasers, there are some really fun characters. We actually have Abarash in this one. We have Volkmar the Grim, Krell. I mean, there's a bunch of fun characters in this Who Would Win series. So that's over on Lore Master of Sotek's channel. It will be in the next couple days if anyone's interested. He's just doing some final editing. So Professor Pipe's clan is called the Extreme Meme Team. Nice. Okay. I got it. Right on, right on. Pretty solid stuff. It's going good, Atticus. Welcome. I'm not in a clan. No. So in order to get into this tournament, you just need to join the Discord, which Misha and some of the other admins will be dropping. And throughout the stream, and there's a section called the Turin League request on the far side on the one of the chat channels, and you just drop your name there and say, hey, I'm interested, and then I add you to a list. Oh, Sotek, I was just telling people that our collaboration is going to be coming out on your channel in the next couple days. Yeah. So here, oh man, this is a fun matchup. Norska versus the Empire is very thematic, very fun. And I know Professor Pipes actually has a pretty good build here, so this is gonna be fun. Kolek is actually in this one. We have Kolek in this one. Trust me. And Cetra. Yeah, how did you guess that, raw cauliflower? Oh man, trust me, this one's gonna be really fun. You haven't missed too much, Mark. You haven't missed the finals. This is the second game in the second best of 3 here. So this could potentially be a 2-0, but again, if Alo is able to take this one, it's going to be going to game 3. I have no idea about these clans, Zach. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked my name to just say Turin, so that's probably why I wouldn't use a clan tag. This is the second game in this one here. So we'll go ahead and show everyone who's just joining. We're almost about halfway through everything. So if we take a look here at the tournament brackets, Pippington actually moved on to the finals. I just haven't updated that yet. So we can just do the super haggard. You guys ready for this? Oh, yeah, that was so good and tasty. And then here we have Professor Pipes and Alo. So the winner will move on to face Pippington here, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. Winner, of course, will be earning one of the pieces of 8 to qualify for the grand finals, which are going to be probably in January. From the looks of things, just because I'm going to be traveling in December, but it's definitely going to be quite a bit of fun. So stay tuned for that. All right. And now we're back to action. Christopher Bruns with a erect $10 donation. Abarash versus everyone. Well, Abarash is going to be in the video. You have to go watch it to see who he faces off against. So he has a hard matchup. Abarash ends up facing someone really strong. So it's going to be a cockfight of the ages for sure. Yeah. Bill Brasky. Yeah. Richard Words. I love the Bill Brasky skit, man. Bill Brasky. Oh my god. Unger Ironfist with the $2 donation saying, go Alo. Who would win, Cetra versus Krokar? That's a question for Lore Master of Sotek. Yeah, Mark, you're here for the full finals, man. And thank you guys so much for joining today. I see we have 1,111 people here in chat, so big thanks to all of you guys. And if you haven't dropped a like here on the stream already, please do. It does help out. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy and yeah, all that good stuff. Yes. Face steel and gunpowder indeed. Oh man, I think the games we've had on this stream are insane. We've had some really good games. The first best of 3 between Pippington and Farrell, every game was like a masterclass, close game. If you haven't seen those and you just are joining now, I would recommend going back right away and watching those. Those were such good games. Such good games. Oh, man. Yeah. Crocar's been doing good today. He had a very good victory against the Tomb Kings earlier, and that one was a close fight as well. So Crocky G, you know, letting him know his place in the metagame is still quite legitimate. Uh-oh, Misha, no riot. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and get rid of Captain Barbosa and his ape or monkey. That monkey is very creepy looking, if you ask me. Where can I get the number from attacking and from being units? If you join the Discord, we have links to all the tournament rules and stuff like that. So, all right. So here we are, guys. We have a showdown. And again, this is a best of 3. This is the second game. Professor Pipes is currently up 1-0. And he's going to be coming in with the Empire. So the People's Champion. Who doesn't love to see the Empire in action? By far one of the most fun factions to watch. You know, they're kind of a jack of all trades faction. Very, very high skill cap on the Empire. Very micro intensive, but if done correctly, man, they are so good and tasty. So we have Volkmar the Grim on the Pimp Chariot. Now, this is going to be very good against Norscan infantry. Having him in the front line gives the Empire so much more strength in the front line to kind of deal with all the infantry. For his main core, he does have a couple of groups of greatswords, actually. So greatswords are very good against Norscan troops as well, because Norska typically brings like berserkers and marauders here, expecting state troops. Therefore, the greatswords can actually perform very well. On top of that, we do have Sigmar Sons here. We have halberds in the back. The silver bullets who do have stock. It's very tough to protect a gun line from Norska. So I like the fact that Professor Pipes went with a very small gun line. He really just has these guys, right? I mean, and oh no, at the Temple Meme Luminarch. Guys, so we have a Templehof Luminarch ROR here with the nets. Man, I cannot wait to see how effective this thing is. And we have a Light Wizard with a net. So we have a net on the Templehof Luminarch, and we have a net on the Light Wizard. So this is going to be super micro-intensive here, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. One group of Demogryph Knights with halberds in the back. Now, as far as caster goes, yeah, he just has nets and the Shem's Burning Gaze. Guys, it's happening. Yeah, Misha, if you could drop a link to the Discord and chat, that would be great if you could. Thank you so much. Appreciate all your help. Here we do have the Manscores up in the skies. For Norska, we have a couple of Marauder Chariots, actually, which you don't see terribly often. But just Marauders in the front line, which is pretty standard, right? You're expecting those state troops, but it seems like Alo is privy to the tactics of Professor Pipes. He's going to be bringing some Mistalkers, some Famir, to be doing some heavy damage against great swords. Wolfric the Wanderer on horseback is always a pretty good choice. Going to be good at fighting Volkmar the Grim on his chariot. Manscore here, we got some Beasts of Tashnar, Norscan Warhounds, and chariots. So double Manscore, double chariot, Famir Warriors, and Marauders. That looks like to be the core of his build here. So yeah, this is going to be good. Start. Start the game. Start it. Thank you, Misha. Yeah, drop that. Drop those links. Hot fire. All right. So here in the middle, there's also some Pistoliers from Professor Pipes, which I like quite a bit. Pretty good little skirmisher unit against the light armor of the Norscan roster. And yeah, it's really going to come down to the play from the Templehof Luminarch, because that is a big old investment. And if that thing doesn't pay off, it can be very tough. Professor Pipes. And yes, they're both Twitch streamers. So after this game, I'll make sure to let them know to drop links to their Twitch channels. So if you guys want to see more of this memery, I'm sure Pipes will be happy to oblige over on his Twitch channel when he's playing. Although this isn't even necessarily a meme. Like, it could work very well, right? Like, the Templehof Luminarch could snipe out Wolfric super quick. Or it could rampage the Manticores in one shot. It brings a lot to the table. It's a bit of a gamble, right? Jason Denny, thank you for the 1999 donation for the Temple meme. 1999, you can get yourself a Templehof Luminarch. Yeehaw! So right here, we do have the Feral Manticore that's going to be charging in against the Pistoliers, who can outrun it. They can shoot it. So far, so good. I mean, that thing is not cheap, right? Lady Turin creeping in here saying hello. Okay, sounds good. Second, guys. I think the car keys are here. Lady Turin just requires something from me. All right, baby. See you later. Love you. So the Temple Luminarch dropping some fire. It does hit the Famir Balefiend, and that's also a very good target. So he's able to get some good damage right there. The Norscan forces are advancing. The Marauders have taken, yeah, a little bit of damage. I mean, it looks like they got caught by the Temple Luminarch and an overcast right there or something. Yeah, somehow. It looks like he took some damage from like an overcasted fireball. Yeah. So here comes, oh, the Temple Luminarch coming in with the steel chair. Oh, where's it going? Oh, but it looks like it was like shooting down at the Marauders for some reason. But look at that. Shem's Burning Gaze from the Light Wizard. Oh, and he nets it in place. It's actually hit with the net of Amnitok right now. Another Shem's Burning Gaze coming down with the Scroll of Power. And guys, that Templehof Luminarch could potentially just blast this guy off the battlefield, and losing the caster that quick would be huge. In the meantime, Volkmar the Grim is going to be leading a glorious heavy metal charge here in the front line, doing some pretty good work. And the Silver Bolts are shooting in. And the Temple of Luminarch, oh, with the direct shot right on the Famir Balefiend. He takes so much damage, getting put into the trash can. Oh my goodness. That Temple of Luminarch just paying massive dues right now. Wulfric the Wanderer just standing there like, what the hell just happened? And over here, the Marauder Chariots are doing a pretty good job, and the Famir are definitely going to spank the Greatsword pretty well. But Demogryph Knights are waiting in the wings. Professor Pipes is on point right here. And where's his Temple of Luminarch shot going? We're going to find out. Here it comes, going downtown, and oh, it hits him again! So much damage, and it looks like he's broken. He might even shatter off the battlefield here. Absolute insanity. That Temple of Luminarch play is just out of control. So far, it's pretty much paid for itself. It's done its job. It got rid of the Winds of Magic, and it also got rid of the caster, right? Right now, the Beast of Tashnar, you can see here, Halo is not happy about that. He's going to be bum rushing back here with all these Norscan Hounds. The Halberds need to rush forward and kind of protect the Temple off Meme right here. And the Manticore is also coming back here. So the Halberds are going to be piling in to defend it, but man, it has taken a lot of damage. That Manticore definitely should finish it off as well. In the meantime, the Silver Bullets are piling back. A huge banishment coming down from Volkmar the Grim, which just annihilates those Spearmen and Marauders. And the Greatswords are even probably going to be able to do some work against those Chariots. In the front line, Volkmar the Grim is fighting side by side with Sigmar's Sons, which is very, very gangster. They're going to be holding back that Norscan tide. And the bounce power is still pretty even because Norsca is actually trading pretty efficiently in all of the infantry fights. You can see Greatswords are running away here. Over here, the Spearmen on the flanks are pretty much compromised. So Norsca doing well in many respects. Oh, and the Famir Balefiend is actually back somehow. Temple of Luminar taking a pot shot here at Wulfric the Wanderer, not able to get him. Volkmar is in a little bit of trouble. Demogryph Knights actually get broken off by the Famir with great weapons. So despite those Temple of Luminar shots, Alo might be able to get into the finals here. The Hunter of Champions has been popped as well. Professor Pipes is just riding dirty with Volkmar the Grim, trying to get away, but yeah, Wulfric's hot on his tail. And Temple of Luminar shot, here it comes. It's going to be going for Wulfric for sure. God, look at that, just raw power. And it actually does hit some of the Marauders. And Manticore is coming in as well. And the Manticore is actually a pretty good answer against the Temple of Luminarch. But Halberds of the Empire falling back. The Sons of Sigmar, not the actual ones, but the metaphorical ones, are going to be piling back in with their anti-large. And they might be able to rampage the Manticore. A beautiful net coming down from Professor Pipes. He's able to pin that guy in place. This Manticore over here is basically just dying into a pit of spears. Oh no, but the Marauder Chariots from Alo are coming in. And, oh man, this is going to be tough. I mean, you do not want to lose the Silver Bullets, but those Marauder Chariots coming around the house there, they obviously didn't see him coming, and man, they just ramshackled those guys. Brutal damage, should be able to break off the Silver Bullets. And look at this, Alo is actually able to get the Manticore and chase off the Light Wizard. The Light Wizard is running, so beautiful catch there, but he is rampaging. So if the Light Wizard can get enough separation here, the Manticore could fall back and potentially jump on some of these high-value targets. And it looks like here it comes. Oh, the Temple Meme Luminarch, where's it going? And it goes downtown, a direct hit on Wulfric the Wanderer right in the face. But also that caster, I think, is back. I think it's hiding in the tree somewhere. It looks like the Burning Skull is going to be coming down. So it's really a shame that caster wasn't finished off. This Burning Skull is really going to hurt those, state troops here. It looks like net of Amatoch has been dropped on the Chariots while the Spearmen are going to be rushing in. Silver Bullets also are going to be moving forward. But I think the Empire is going to be falling to the onslaught of Norsca. What a game, though. God damn, these guys are putting on a good show. So Wulfric the Wanderer is going to be charging back here, going after Volkmar the Grim. And, oh man, Volkmar is so beat up. And the Beast of Tashnar are coming as well. Volkmar is unbreakable, but he just doesn't have any Demogryph Knights or anything to protect him, really. Yeah, I think he's going to be going down. The Eternal Challenger here, the actual Eternal Challenger, Wulfric the Wanderer, is going to be laying a spanking on good old Volkmar here. Volkmar is very tanky, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. Banishment being dropped as well, which might be able to rotate into these guys, but it looks like, oh, the point blank shot. Oh man, it looks like it accidentally shoots some of the Hounds, and it looks like that's going to be army losses for the Empire. So well played to both players. Well played. God, this has got to be some of the best games we've had. So Jason Denny, thank you for the $19.99 donation. And Aiden First, come on, there's over 1,000 watching and only 448 likes. Send those likes to Turin. Please turn your interval music enriches my life. Well, Aiden, you'll get some more of that. Don't worry. So that's going to be going to Game 3. So we have our first two games of the day going to Game 3. Beautiful stuff. This is going to be quite a cockfight here in the finals, I'm sure, just from the looks of things. So the Temple of Luminarch came out strong, but Norsca's onslaught was fierce. The Manticores actually ended up doing some really, really good work. And let's go ahead and update the scorecard here to 1-1. And guys, we are going to Game 3 in this first match. This is the first. This isn't the finals. Game 3. Wow. What a game. Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. So, when I say that the Empire has a high skill cap, it means that there's some factions that have a more narrow style of play that a beginner is going to be really good with, will be good with them, and also a professional Okay, so it's kind of hard to articulate. So if something has a high skill cap, it means like that they have tons of potential. So if you put like someone on, you know, the Empire or the Zerg in StarCraft, for example, they're going to be harder to play in the beginning, but if you get really good at them, the potential is limitless because of how diverse their play is. Whereas if you're playing someone like a more simple faction, a more one-dimensional faction, they're going to be good, but their potential is limited because they're going to be very linear. They don't have too many diverse tactics. Their play styles are very flat. But if you're playing one of those high skill cap factions, that's hard to play. But if you master them, it essentially means that if they're hard to play, but if you can master them, the sky is the limits. And the Empire is one of those factions, in my opinion. So, yeah, that was a really good fight, though, for sure. Kind of like, yeah, it's good. All right, so we have Dwarves versus Chaos. Oh man. We have the Dwarves versus the Chaos. This is going to be fun. Let me go grab some water real quick. All right, guys, here we are. And now we have the forces of the Dawi taking on the Warriors of Chaos. And we're here 1-1. Make sure to like the stream if you have not. Definitely helps out quite a bit. You don't see Bretonnia too much. Bretonnia is also a hard faction to play. Because, I mean, they're pretty predictable, right? You can expect mediocre infantry and heavy cav, and then you can plan accordingly. So, but Bretonnia in the hands of a good player can be very stressful. Fey Enchantress is very good. They can swarm very efficiently. They have lots of cheap, relatively cost-efficient troops. So, yeah. Yeah, the triple Bretonian blessing build last stream was great. That was great. So here we are, guys. This is not even the finals. After this, you guys have a full, erect best of 5 between the winner of this as well as Pippington from our first game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The tournament rules are... let me see. I can actually grab those for you guys real quick. Hold on. So tournament rules. Hey, Shetland Apache, are you still in here? You are. Let me know. Second, guys. I'm going to get you guys the tournament rules. One second. So Misha, I actually just dropped the tournament rules in the general chat of the Discord, so anyone who wants to see those can. And I'll drop them in chat as well. Hopefully that works. Let's see if those links work. Yeah, you guys can see the tournament rules there. I just dropped them in chat. Start when ready. Yeah, I know it's getting late for some of you guys over in Europe. Well, it'll be up for you to watch tomorrow, so no stress. How would I build Wood Elves versus Dawi? That's a hard one for sure, but I would probably just go with a ton of Eternal Guard. A couple Way Watchers to snipe out high-value targets and enemy missiles. Wild Riders with shields are pretty good. You can mix in like 1 or 2 Hawk Riders to shut down gyrocopters and also do armor-piercing rear charges. It's tough, though. You basically skirmish with the Way Watchers, and then from there you... once you take out their high-value targets, you force them out of their shell and you ride them down with Wild Riders. It's a hard matchup, though, for Wood Elves. I didn't make... So, let me just put a disclaimer. I didn't make those rules. I mean, they were made by Shell and Apache, Pippington, and a bunch of individuals over in the tournament Discord there. Those guys are the true anchor of the multiplayer community. I'm simply just kind of a... I just ramble and run these events. But those guys are the real OGs for sure. A big thanks to those guys. Pippington, Shetland, I think they were the ones who put together those rules. Yeah. So let's hear it for those guys. All right, guys. Here we are. And, you know, I forgot about this map. This is such a fun map. And it was one of the ones that you would see all the time in Warhammer 1 multiplayer. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Watching to the bitter end. I mean, after how many good games we've had today, I mean, God, how could you not? The entertainment level is off the charts. And we've had like greenskins, beastmen, we've had dwarves. Like today has been just a ton of good stuff. Aries, what's up, man? You made it. Yes, you did. All right, guys. So here we are with Game 3 between Professor Pipes and Halo. The Halo is going to be playing the Warriors of Chaos. Oh, man. Oh, man. The builds are just out of control. So for Chaos, we're going to have the dreaded double Hell Cannon build. So both players, realizing there's like a giant lip in the middle, are going to be running artillery pieces. So we have 2 Hell Cannons here from the Warriors of Chaos. The front line is going to be mostly Chaos Marauders. Chaos Marauders as chaff. And the rest of the army is going to be Chaos Warriors with great weapons. 3 groups of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, which are very good against dwarves. Good against gyrocopters. You can get up and behind the dwarf army and do some massive damage to infantry. Throwing axes are very good here. And then we also have Manticore. So Manticore is making a pretty big appearance in today's tournament. So this is great. So it looks like the Warriors of Chaos obviously going to be trying to control the high ground here with the Vanguard deployment. But the dwarves, our Dwarven artillery is very strong in its own right. But I don't know, the Hell Cannons might be able to outtrade here. I'm actually very, very eager to see how this is going to play out. And for the forces of the Dawi, we have miners with blasting charges spread across the entire battlefield. And those guys do a good job. They have armor piercing. Their charges are very good against marauders, can bring them down to like 60 or 50% pretty quickly here. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be something. In the back, we have Thunders. So Thunders are very good against Chaos as well. And you can see he's doing a bit of a Dawi onion strategy. The layers. He's going to force Chaos to peel these layers. Even if Chaos breaks through here, they're going to have to march through several layers of gunfire, which I think is very good. For the Lord, we do have a Rune Lord, by far the most competitive pick. Master Rune and Wrath and Rune, very good against heavy infantry. We have the Goblobber here, and then we also have an Organ Gun in the back, which is going to be mowing down Chaos infantry as they advance. Things are getting pretty wild. One sec, guys. I just heard a door there. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Here we go. I think one of my dogs was like scratching at the door and then ran away when I came. Like, I was like, oh, do you want to go outside, Wookie? And then he just runs back to the living room. I'm like, oh, I guess not. Yeah. This is going to be good. I'm really excited for this match. This has the makings of a fierce cockfight, if I've ever seen one. And this map is so much fun. I love the fighting over the hill. Like both players trying to like fight for line of sight, because if Chaos doesn't have their marauders up here, they're not going to be able to see the dwarves, and the dwarves have gyrocopters, so they could easily secure that high ground position in terms of line of sight. But the horse masters and the manticores, or the horsemen and the manticores, obviously a counter to the gyrocopters, right? So I'm back. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. Wookie was scratching at the door. Oh man, I don't know why my shoulders are so damn tight. Go. And here we are with the third and final game between Halo and Professor Pipes. The Battle of the Clanmates is pretty much the tail of the tape for today's Flash Tournament, or today's Eternal Challenger League. It's not a Flash Tournament, it's Eternal Challenger League. And here we have the gyrocopter with the Brimstone gun. It's going to be pouring over the high ground. The Goblobber taking some shots. Let's see where he's going. It looks like he might be going right here. Maybe? Oh no, it looks like, yeah, it looks like it was just a bit of a long shot there. Shooting goblins up here at these Chaos Warriors. I don't know how they feel about that. It's probably an interesting thing to... Oh, but over here on the far side, the Organ Gun able to get some huge shots on the Marauder Horsemen. So those bad boys definitely need to fall back. And Chaos, in the meantime, realizing they, don't really have to contest the high ground. The dwarves are going to be pushing forward. The double Hell Cannons, though. That's going to be, oh, look, blood. It's just the tooltip. So they get a speed buff, putting them up to 25 speed, which is faster than Helm and Gorst. So the Hell Cannons are going to be scooting forward, probably shooting at the miners. But really, I don't know, maybe the Hell Cannons might try and trade out with the Goblobber. I mean, because Hell Cannons are unbreakable, right? So maybe 2 Hell Cannons focusing down the Goblobber might be able to actually kill it. In the meantime, the Frail Manticores are falling back. It looks like the Gyrocopter is going to be scouting the position. And now we get to see where the Hell Cannon is actually shooting. So here it comes. The first shot looks like it's going to be going after... Ooh, and a direct hit right there on the crew. So it doesn't actually hit the artillery pieces, but it does hit the crew, which is tough. And the Goblobber is going to be returning fire, shooting back. So we do have an artillery duel. Now... I think the 2 Hell Cannons might be able to outtrade that because they're unbreakable. I mean, the Dwarf crew might break off beforehand, and the Gyrocopter coming back here to try and poke a little bit, but of course Halo is going to be sitting here with his Marauder Horsemen as well as the Manticore, and they're going to be able to fend off the Gyrocopter. Look at the axe throw angle. They're just like, ugh. Just throwing it. Imagine trying to hit like a helicopter with an axe. Like just the Oh man, the dynamic of that is pretty ridiculous. But anyways, the two Hell Cannons are shooting in, still trying to trade here. Looks like one of them, oh my god, one of them actually with a direct hit on the gyrocopters, which is just insanity. The other one's still shooting at the Gobblobber, and the Warriors of Chaos obviously don't want to have to move, right? They don't want to have to march into that Dwarven kill box. If they can actually kill the Dwarven artillery pieces, and from there, you know, force the Dwarves out, I think that's going to be a pretty good situation for them. In terms of leadership, it's Prince Sigvald. I forgot to mention that earlier, so, you know, he's durable. He's not going to die easily, and the Chaos Sorcerer for Death here does have Spirit Leech, Purple Sun. There's going to be some pretty good tools against the blobbed up dwarves if it does get to that point. Organ Guns in the meantime, oh, unleashing a massive volley, just tearing apart these Marauder Horsemen. Those guys get shreked so hard by the Dwarven firepower here in the back. The Organ Gun just cackling as it blows apart those Marauder Horsemen. And it looks like he's still trying to trade with that the Gobblobber crew. The Gobblobber still has all three of its pieces firing, and it's just shooting in. And yeah, Chaos is actually taking a bit of a beating everywhere. I mean, Dwarven artillery pieces are quite accurate, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Dwarves are coming out far ahead here. I mean, this one Hell Cannon is pretty much offline here, almost. I mean, it's at half health, but it looks like he switched on to the other one. I think they're both shooting, though. I think this one is still in good shape. Let's go and check. Yeah, it's still shooting, so that bad boy is still functional. The Hell Cannon shot's still coming across. It looks like they're going to be shooting at the Rune Lord here and going, ooh, a swing and a miss. I don't think trading with the artillery duels is going to work out. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could just, yeah, Shetland Apache has a good point in chat that you could just weather the Hell Cannons, which is probably good because none of his things are that high value. He could just pull back with the Thunders and let the Miners and stuff take it, but I don't know. It's a fierce cockfight. The Hell Cannons are running about half ammunition, give or take. The Gobblobber, of course, has a little bit less. The Organ Gun is actually, looks like it's scooting up a little bit, so it looks like this bad boy moving up here, maybe going to start getting some arc fire shots. I don't know if it can get the line of sight, but it can at the very least shoot any of the Chaos Infantry that do come up the high ground here. So we have the Duel of Ages. The Gobblobber is now going to be shooting at Chaos Warriors, which I think is a good choice. Just getting rid of the heavy AP infantry here. So I mean, the Hell Cannons are going to be out of ammo, and if they're wasting their shots on the Gobblobber, I mean, yeah, I think the right choice is to shoot at the Chaos Infantry here, which is starting to pay dividends. Manticores in the meantime are just kind of swooping around in the skies over here in the forest. You can see that Halo does indeed have some throwing axes hidden up. And Sigvald's just kind of sitting there hanging out, having a good time. And yeah, that's that. I don't know. I think the Dwarves are kind of coming out a little bit. I mean, they've barely taken any topical damage on the Gobblobber, and Chaos is actually taking damage across multiple fronts. Marauder Horsemen are beat up. The Chaos Sorcerer is hurt from overcasting. The Hell Cannons are pretty much out of ammunition. And there's not too many good targets. Now, a Hell Cannon shot does finally make a direct hit here, but the Dwarven crew just has such resilient leadership. If this was like Skaven or any other faction, the artillery crew would have like ducked and run by now, but oh, look at that direct hit. So he finally does get one of the artillery pieces, so they're down to 2. But I mean, like, the Gobblobber's pretty much used all of its ammunition. It's definitely not worth shooting anymore, right? It's not worth it. Like, this thing is not going to do much more. Yeah, you want to start shooting at the Dwarf Infantry. I think killing the Thunders is huge, because aside from Thunders, I mean, the Organ Gun and the Miners, like, that's pretty much the rest of the AP value, right? So Horsemen come over here to try and fend off the Gyrocopters, and they take Organ Gun fire to the face, and those Hell Cannons really need to switch. I think at this point, going after the Gobblobber is just, like, overkill. Like, it has no ammo left. It's not going to do that much more damage. Just go after some of the Thunders and some of the other value targets. Like, look at these bunched up Thunders here. This bread is waiting to be buttered so incredibly hard. Yeah, I think that's the case. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Hell Cannons have now switched onto the Thunders, probably going to be shooting, these two blobs right here, which I think is a far better choice. One of them still shooting the Gobblobber here, so that thing's pretty much offline. But Hell Cannons are expensive, guys. They cost quite a bit, and this one has how many shots left? 6. This one has 5 shots. I mean, yeah, you need to Shrek those Thunderers for sure. Like, take those guys out, give them the business, and that should be a pretty good fight for you from there. So the Gyrocopters with the Brimstone guns are going to be going up and exploring the high ground positions. The Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes are going to rush to intercept, but what Pipes is doing is he runs up, he shoots, he falls back, pulls the Horsemen over the hill, and then they just get annihilated by the Organ Guns back here, which is pretty good. And check this out, though. We actually have another Dwarf Cannon back here, so I missed this one earlier. So in total, the Dwarves have 3 artillery pieces, and these Marauder Horsemen, if they're patient enough, could probably come around and kill this cannon for free, because it's completely unprotected. The closest Dwarf unit is probably the Thunderers over here and these Slayers, but that could potentially be a nice grab later. Blasting Charge is coming down for the Miners. Ooh! Oh, Professor Pipes just giving those guys the dirty business. The Dwarves, I don't know if playing this kind of war of attrition game with the Dwarves is going to work out terribly well. They're very, very good at this. The Hell Cannons, though, are starting to do some pretty good damage to the Thunderers here. That's exactly what they probably should have been doing since the early game. I like the initial idea, I guess, of going after them, but, I didn't haven't tried that much myself, so I was like, oh, maybe the Hell Cannons can, but, you know, once realizing it wasn't doing much, I think they probably should have switched, because now Chaos is essentially out 2,400 gold, right? And the Dwarves have, you know, they lost a Godlobber, which I guess is a bit, yeah, you can see the crew actually fell back here. And the Gyrocopters are still fully functional. They have 3 models, so they're going to be having their full damage output. And Chaos is definitely a little bit tattered. I don't know how this is going to go for them. The Chaos Forces are going to be advancing over the hill. Prince Sigvald is advancing as well. Dwarves already a little bit ahead in the balance of power here, and these Thunders are going to give them the business. This isn't the finals. This is actually the last game of the second best of 3 of the day. The finals is going to be the winner of this versus Pippington. So Miners are going to be moving forward. The Thunders unleashing a massive volley onto the Chaos Marauders, which isn't bad. The Chaos Marauders do have shields, and they have a ton of models. It's not a bad situation. A blasting charge is going down here in the front, just absolutely shrekking some of these Chaos Marauders, and that's some really, really good and tasty damage. Sigvald's going to be leading the charge, but those guys are just getting blasting charge to the face. This Chaos Sorcerer is going to be charging in as well, but the charges are just doing work, and there's just so many layers. I mean, there's even more Thunders back here. They're just gunning apart the Chaos Forces here. I don't know if Chaos is going to be able to get terribly far. A Purple Sun does go down on top of the Dwarven Thunders here in the back, and was that? Oh, that's the Godlobber is back online. The Godlobber is here. It's shooting again at the Chaos Warriors. The Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin is going to be going down on Marauders, which I think it should have been used on Chaos Warriors, but I understand just using it on the closest target. But man, those Chaos Warriors are just being gunned down by the Dwarven firepower. Everywhere he goes, there's just crossfire. The Mancores cannot sleep. The Boogeyman is under their bed. The Dwarven Boogeyman is waiting for them. Here you can see the Miners are actually holding back Sigvald plus these guys, and actually it looks like they're doing pretty efficient there in that trade. The Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin is able to chase off those Chaos Marauders to the full extent, and yeah, this is just brutality. I mean, the Dwarves are just unleashing hell on this Chaos army as they march forward, and there is still so much more stopping power. Now, over here, it looks like some of these Thunders a little bit out of position, so Pipes definitely needs to pull those guys back and get the Miners to kind of cover them. But yeah, you can see that Manticore just getting gunned down. Sigvald and the boys are actually doing okay in the front line, and desperation time is here. The Hell Cannon crews are coming, so these Chaos Dwarves coming to fight there. Oh, look, guys, it's the Chaos Dwarves DLC. Charging down the hill, they're going to be charging against the Dwarves. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, Chaos could potentially break through and do well, but they're losing a lot of high-value units here. This other Manticore, though, is actually still causing a bit of disruption. And look at that in the back. Just like we predicted, the Marauder Horsemen from Halo are able to get back there and shut down that cannon. Oh, but it looks like the cannon crew's back online, so they're simply going to run back to their cannon, which is a little bit tricky. But the cool thing about Thunders is they're basically as strong as like Dwarf Warriors, so they should be able to actually put up a great fight against Marauder Horsemen in melee. But they're going to get charged. They don't have the charge defense, but Dwarves do have pretty good mass, so they're able to take that like absolute champions. And they're holding, and this is actually turning into a bit of a close game. I still think Dwarves have an advantage, but oh yeah, those Marauder Horsemen are just getting crossfired heavily. But a lot of the, you know, high value units for the Dwarves here, these Thunders and guys in the back, are each compromised. Like these guys are kind of shut down temporarily. These ones are all taking a ton of pressure. Oh man, and this could actually lose Professor Pipes the game. I did not see this. So the Rune Lord somehow, some way gets sniped out, even though he has tons of supporting elements. He should have been more careful with that guy and fallen back. He should not have been in the front line fighting Sigvald. So that could potentially cost him the game, because Sigvald is going to be very tough to kill for a lot of these Miners and things like that. It's really going to come down to the Thunder play. Professor Pipes does get his cannon crew back online, but the Warriors of Chaos able to kind of fight back from the bitter end here and you know, catch that Rune Lord and don't let him go. That Chaos Sorcerer has to chase him down. Those Master Rune of Wrath and Ruins are going to be way, way too powerful. So chase that guy down. Chaos might be able to come back, guys. I know a lot of you guys in chat are saying that Chaos is done for, but they could come back here. So Miners here are pushing forward. There's a big Dawi firing line going on. But Chaos is marching forward. I mean, they still have some decent strength. Oh, don't let that Rune Lord go. He needs to finish him off. The Chaos Sorcerer needs to Spirit Leech him, finish him off, because Master Runes of Wrath and Ruin are going to do so much work, and he rallies. Oh no, that is so rough. The fact that the Rune Lord is back gives the Dwarves like a pretty good avenue here, because Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin is going to kill any of these infantry units. It's going to wear down these healthy Chaos Warriors with great weapons. It looks like he does use it on the Marauders. He definitely should have used it on the Chaos Warriors with great weapons here, but nonetheless, he's still getting some pretty good value. So that was definitely his chance. Sigvald's going to be getting gunned down by a ton of these Thunders right now. Just massive volley fire coming in. But Sigvald does have a silver shield, so he has that 55% block chance, which is very good. And he's you know, he of anyone is going to be very good at mitigating that fire. Also, there's a cannon online in the back, which is going to be shooting at Mancores. Oh, and the Manticore gets taken out by the Dwarven firepower. Sigvald coming in with his shield for Slanesh, and he definitely gets some mean karate chops here on the Thunders. We're going to be probably putting guard mode so they continue shooting. We'll see in a moment. Yeah, you can see he has them in guard mode, which means they're going to keep shooting, or carrying out their orders rather than fighting in melee there. So Thunder firing line is just everywhere. Thunders. We have some back here. A massive crossfire coming in. The Rune Lord is actually fighting against the Chaos Sorcerer, but he has the support of some Miners. He might be able to win that. He has 120 armor, which is quite helpful. Forbidden Rod has been popped for Chaos as well. he's really going to regret not finishing that Dwarf Lord off, because he's going to come back and you know, potentially cause some disruption. But now he's finalizing it. He's finally finishing it off, going for the death blow here. But you know, he had to invest a lot more resources to do it, right? And his Chaos Sorcerer is probably going to die because of that. He's being gunned down by the Thunders. God, the Dawi Firepower just doing so much work here. And you can see the Chaos Sorcerer is actually going to get fended off. Oh, and the Rune Lord survives with 46 HP. And that Dwarven leadership coming in. Look at that. They just gunned down that Sorcerer. That was brutal. And it looks like the Dwarves are going to take this one. What a game. That ended up being a pretty fierce cockfight. I mean, when the Rune Lord got taken out like that, that was almost enough to get him back in the game. Damn. The Chaos Dwarf DLC isn't up to snuff. They don't have enough of a fleshed out roster, and the Chaos Dwarves are going to fall to the Dwarves there. Oh my goodness. That was a fun game. That was a really fun game. Halo almost came back when he got the Rune Lord, but even still, I think had he killed it, like we were talking about, I still think he would have lost. The Thunders were there, the cannon was there, the organ gun was still, like, everything was online. So the Dawi coming in, Professor Pipes with a 2-1 victory. What a game. That was amazing for sure. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. And yeah. What a cockfight. Professor Pipes with the 2-1 victory. Let's go ahead and give those guys a big congratulations. GG. Pipes, stay here. Hip join. All right. So we're going to take a quick intermission while we set up the next game. No, we're in the finals now. So Professor Pipes has now won. So we can go ahead and take a look at the tournament bracket. And I'm just going to do the lazy one. Pipes is going to be in the finals versus Pippington. So Pippington versus Pipes in a best-of-5 showdown here in the finals at the ECL Qualifier number 5. So thank you guys so much for joining. It's been quite a bit of fun. A lot more action coming to you guys today. Oh, no, we don't want to. I almost played the song again, which would have been fun. So let me go ahead and go over to a quick intermission. We'll put on some classical music for you guys, and should be fun for all. I'm quite excited. All right. Where is that? Where is that stupid intermission? And here we are in the grand finals, and we have some very exciting showdowns for you guys. So the dwarves are back. We have a grudge match. So it's going to be the dwarves versus the greenskins in the first game here, and it's going to be on the Tower of Hoeth. Magic D, how much is that? No way, what is that? How much is that? I see a big number, but I don't know what the currency conversion is. So Magic D, let me go ahead and check that out. But yes, we have a finals between Professor Pipes and Pippington. This is a best of 5. The winner is going to be earning one of our pieces of 8. And what is that? I don't know what currency that is. I think it's like 30 bucks, give or take. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. For a second, I thought it said $100,000. Like, who the hell is that kind of money to throw around? But thank you so much, man. That caught me off guard for a second. I'm not going to lie. Oh no, it's actually going to be vampire counts versus greenskins. So this is a hard one for the greenskins. I think they have a slight advantage. But so Pippington and Professor Pipes have a Colombian peso. Got it. Thank you so much, man. For a moment, it was 3K. Oh my God, I would have such a hard on if it was. I want to donate to Turin in Zimbabwe money someday. I'll make Turin a billionaire. Please do, man. I'm now a rich man. Thank you, man. Thank you for your donation. That probably looks so trippy to people. Magic D coming in with the fat one. So yes, so essentially, it's a hard matchup for the greenskins, but they've decided instead of doing gentlemen's agreements to make it a little bit more of like structured, they're going to be doing a pick and ban system. So one player will pick and then do a ban, and then they go back and forth. So it's going to be kind of that standard. So, you know, the vampire counts probably ban their hardest counter, and then the other player then picks. So it's I'm always cautious, optimistic. I've seen enough of those Twitch videos of like fake donations and things like that to be wary. But thank you so much, man. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to see vampire counts. We're probably going to be seeing one of the new bloodline lords. I would imagine the blood dragon lord, because he can like 2 or 3 shot the greenskin lords if he comes in and uses like the helm of discord and the heart piercing and all that other stuff. So the blood dragon lord is such a powerhouse. That helm of discord is so damn powerful. So yeah, it's going to be vampire counts versus greenskins here in the first match of the day. And again, big thanks to all of you guys for joining. Hopefully you don't mind the little intermissions. And you guys haven't missed too much. We had the first 2 best of 3s, some of the best games we've ever had on stream here. I would say like every game was of quality. They were all fun. They were all back and forth and just awesome games. And here we are in the finals, which is going to be best of 5. And I have a feeling we're going to be seeing some more fancy games. So Clan XMT versus Clan CC. We're going to see how this goes. And yeah. And that's it. Can you actually take 2 Blood Knights Terrorgeist? So I'm pretty sure that you can take 2 double Terrorgeist plus. Let me check one thing real quick. I didn't change the banners. Oh yeah, I got to change the banners. Okay, good call, good call. That would have been annoying if we started and then those are the wrong ones. Pippington is back. Back with a vengeance, and he wants blood. We actually saw a really impressive greenskin versus vampire count win last, or with the exploding hamster, I believe, on his stream. That was a really, really good game. He actually won with Grimgore too. A lot of crazy stuff going on here. Yes, yes, we got that. Let me just check one thing real quick, my friends. I'm just checking a rules thing here, or one of the army limits to make sure his army's legal. Yeah, I'm gonna make a double check the rules. I just gotta make sure. Okay. All right, so let's check it out here. Hamster memes incoming. Oh my God. Okay, let me do. Max 3. 3 of those. Okay. Yeah, it should be fine. Should be fine, my dudes. Sorry if I'm just so focused. I'm just reading all the rules to make sure the army limits are good and everything. Found the vampire counts here on the army limit thing. Give me 1 second, my dudes. Yeah, this is the finals. This is the finals. We're just about to start the first game here. Like limited to 2 of these. Yeah, because there was just recently a rule change. Okay, okay. So I just figured out the rules. Pipes, check Discord. So I'm going to message Pipes on Discord and let him know that the army he was bringing you actually can't bring. So he's going to have to make a slight change. Great. Rules. We caught it. Richard Wirtz. Holy shit. A fat, erect $300 donation. Richard, man, you're going ham bone today. So thank you so much, Richard. Jesus, man. God damn. God damn. Hold on 1 second. Gotta get this this laptop plugged in. Well, Richard, I'm glad you're enjoying the content, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you so much, man. Holy shit. That is fat. I don't know what to say, man, other than thank you. That does help quite a bit. I'm actually about to Pharaoh says marry me, Richard. So we're ready. Okay, I just mangled that, but they get the point. I'm actually about to I have a doctor's appointment on December 10th with a doctor who does like stem cell treatment, so a donation like that, it's going to be really expensive for me. So that donation actually does, if I end up doing it, if I can afford it. So that does help quite a bit. So thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. That'll feed me at McDonald's for the month. Yeah. I can retire now. Oh man, thank you so much, dude. Well, hopefully we put on an entertaining showcase for you guys here. And sorry about that, guys. We just had a rules question. I'll explain what it was, too, once we get into the game. I just don't want to spoil the armies or anything yet. So let's go ahead here and get rid of the army blocker. And here we are in the grand finals of the Eternal Challenger League number 5 qualifier. And it's going to be a showdown between Professor Pipes and Pippington. So 2 clans facing off the Extreme Meme team. And, oh, Pipes actually dropped there, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll get it going here. Damn, I was so excited. I don't think it was a disconnect. I think he might have forgot to change something in his army. So yeah, they're gonna have to repick because they can obviously see each other's armies now. All right. So we'll get him back in just a second, and then we'll be good to go. But yeah, it gives me time to talk to you guys. I know, Jedi. So yeah, we'll check in just a moment, see what's up in Discord. Yeah, he's going to be rejoining right now, so no stress. Yeah, thank you so much, man. The meme team shenanigans. I have I have horrible wrist tendonitis in both hands. Yeah, Richard and company. If that was you who was asking. So I have, yeah, and my shoulders too. Yeah, both players are just going to bring the same armies. Keep it simple, I guess. I was going to say that if someone felt slighted by having their army be exposed, they could simply switch it up. But these guys are, you know, both good sports, so it's going to be fine. Yeah, but for my wrist tendonitis, and I also have bicep heads tendonitis, and it's in my shoulders. I was a really reckless like weightlifter when I was younger, and I really screwed up my body pretty bad. So, yeah. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see, but yeah, thank you. I mean, donations like that do help out quite a bit, so. All right, guys, here we are. Round 2. Warhammer is, you can't really fault the players because Warhammer, the game itself, does crash from time to time, so there's not much you can do about that. It happens, right? So, let me go ahead and make sure the blocker isn't up. We look good on that front, and here we are. Now we are actually in the grand finals, and let me get, damn, Windows notifications trolling me. And we're going to be in the finals, and game 1 is going to be a showdown between Professor Pipes, who's going to be playing the Vampire Counts, and he's going to be facing off against Pippington, who's going to be playing the Greenskins, led by the Baconator. So the Baconator, definitely a good choice. Effigy of the Git can pin down the Lords. When he's on foot, he's actually surprisingly tough to kill, because again, the Terrorgeist aren't going to get their bonus first large, or the Terrorgeist. So the rules do state that, so for example, you can't bring more than 3 units with breath attacks. So what Pipes was asking before the game is he was asking, can I bring a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord on a dragon as well as 2 Terrorgeists? Well, you cannot, because the rules do stipulate that you can only have 2 breath attacks in total. That's to kind of keep people from bringing a ton of them and just spamming the breath attack. It's a little bit cheesy, so you can only have 2 in total, which, I mean, this is still very strong against Greenskins. You don't need the 3rd Terrorgeist. It's plenty of stopping power right here. So for the Vampire Counts ground force, we have Skeleton Warriors across the entire core to take the initial brunt of the wall, which is pretty good. You can use skeletons, you can use zombies, either one works pretty well. Graveguard with great weapons and standard Graveguard mixed in, so the great weapon's definitely very good against Black Orcs. You need those, it's quite helpful. And in the forest, it looks like we do have a hidden gem. It's going to be the Dire Pack. So Dire Pack's very good against Greenskins as well. They have anti-large, they can shoot down the Boar Boys, they can shoot down the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. These guys are a very solid pick in my opinion. And for his leadership, he does have a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, an absolute gangster. Let me see, start and ready. And yeah, so we have the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord here, who obviously is one of the better snipers in the game. He does have the heart piercing is what it's called, so it gives him massive stats, Sunders Armor, Helm of Discord, Sword of Anti-Heroes. This guy is just so thick. He comes in with just so much damage. So yeah, that's pretty much it here. So for the forces of the Greenskins, Black Orcs in the front line, the most solid choice for Black Orcs is going to just pound town that Vampire Counts army. So what's probably going to happen here is if Pipes is really on point with his Blood Dragon play, he's probably going to kill Wurzog or the Giant, and then from there he's going to have to work his way through the rest of the infantry. Savage Orc Air Boys, we do have more Savage Orc Air Boys over here. So a Savage Orc line, which is great, because even if you summon zombies on top of Savage Orc Air Boys, they beat the shit out of the zombies. They're like, you want to go, man? You want to go? And yeah, they just go ham bone here. In the back, we have Forest Goblin Spider Riders here. These guys, of course, pretty good at pinning down Terrorgeists and monsters. They have high mass, they have poison. These guys are beasts. And Orc Bigans on the flank. So great army from Pippington. He's got a Giant. Wurzog, of course, is there for the Effigy, which is going to be really good against the Vampire Lords. We have quite a battle on our hands here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining today. This has been a great stream. Goddamn. Great games the entire time. Just some fat donations. So thank you guys so much. I can't thank you guys enough. It makes a huge difference. So here we go. Pippington is going to be representing Clan Cycle Charge, facing off against the meme team. The meme team coming in with the Vampire Counts here. Professor Pipes is going to be keeping his dragons in reserve a little bit, letting his other forces go forward. Probably to kind of, wait till he's able to compromise the archers. Now in the back, the Dire Pack's going to swoop in, but that's what's so cool about Savage Orc Air Boys. They are a little bit squishy, but they're going to beat the hell out of these hounds. You can see the Dire Pack just taking a massive beating. Fellbats are swooping in from Professor Pipes as well. A bit of a timing with the frontline charge, and from here the dragon still in deep reserve. He's definitely going to want to pull that thing forward a little bit, and here it comes. So the dragon's coming in, the Terrorgeist is coming in. Oh, did not want to click that. Let's see if they're typing. Oh, they're just saying good luck, have fun. I was just making sure they weren't asking me a question. So, very good play from Pippington so far. He's super patient. He hasn't popped the wall yet. He knows that it's just chaff he's fighting in the front. So he's going to wait till he gets to the front, and now he's going to pop that erect wall. These Black Orcs are just going to crush these Graveguard with great weapons. Granted, Pippington might miss the charge here, which is going to be a little bit tough, but he's obviously very focused on the Dragon. So he gets FG of the get. Archers are going to be shooting. He pins him in place, and yeah, you can see the Savage Orc Airboy shooting in there. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord only has 70 armor, and oh man, he has taken a working amount of damage. And even if he does land, there's still a fat, angry giant waiting for him. So right now, the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is going to be going in the back. Looks like he's going to be summoning some zombies, but he is getting shreked so hard. Wurzog doing a great job just kind of, just dodging and moving and sticking and fighting. And the giant comes in with his big billy club and is going to start beating down the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. 4 Goblin Spider Riders piling in. So far it's looking good. I mean, the Greenskins in the front line, the Black Orcs are taking some damage and being overwhelmed in some areas. But the Black Orcs obviously will trade very well. But that Blood Dragon Vampire Lord just being given the dirty business. He is being forced back. He's crumbling, being put in a trash can, flipped upside down. And the Giant is actually like really doing a good job. Like, it forced back the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, and now it's just clubbing this Terrorgeist, who does have Invocation of Nehek. But the problem being is that the Terrorgeist is actually being pinned by 4 Goblin Spider Riders. So I don't know. I think Pippington's going to take this one pretty easily. Like, his Green Tide is just so resilient. He's like, you want to summon zombies in my back line? I don't think so. Savage Orc Airboys are just going to beat the hell out of them. And you want to, like, oh man, but here comes for the Alpha Strike. Now, this is one chance Pipes has to get back in the game. If he could snipe Wurzog and maybe escape and then heal. But even still, the Giant is nearby. The Giant is just doing a number on this Terrorgeist. Oh, he's coming in. He clubs the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord in the back. Wurzog is being trampled a little bit, but this guy's so low. 516 HP. He's going down incredibly quick. And here comes the Giant. Oh, he's coming to butter that bread. And he's just marching slowly. He's got that swagger in his step. And here comes the club, but the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord gets away with 400 HP. Man, he is getting shreked. Wurzog is straight up shrekking him right now. The Terrorgeist trying to snipe Wurzog, which isn't a bad choice, but man, that Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is not having a good day. He is at -16 leadership. He can't use Invocation of Nehek when his leadership is broken, and down goes the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. So everyone, you know, I've heard a lot of people screaming about him being like just too brutal to handle, but there you go. He was just handled pretty heavily by that Greenskin force. So Wurzog right here and company are able to clean up, and that's going to be game 1. So Pippington coming in with the steel chair. God damn. That was crazy. That was crazy. The Wurzog and the Giant and the Airboy Goon Arrow Squad were able to just put that guy down. That was so fat and angry. I got to turn off those Windows notifications. My apologies for that. So game 1 going to the Greenskins. The Green Tide marching over that Vampire Count army here in the first match of the day. So well played to Pippington, and now they're going to be picking their next armies and switching the map. We're going to be going from there. Oh man. That was something, wasn't it? Christopher, thank you for another donation on PayPal. I just see that coming in. So Christopher, no, that's not. No, Christopher with 1, and then August. So August C, I won't say your last name. Thank you so much for the donation here of the $30 on PayPal. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, my dude. And hopefully you're enjoying the stream. We're having a blast today. It's been a ferocious one. The Green Tide, the Great Green Prophet. Oh my God, that orc beatdown, like, that was crazy. Like if you want to see me with robot hands. Turin, how do you rate normal orc units versus savage variants? I think savage orcs are much better than orc boys, if that's what you're discussing. Professor Pipes is going to his dwarves. We're gonna see what Pippington picks. Hey Ryan Murdoch, thanks for joining, man. That was nasty. Oh my God, that Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, he got like straight up like bullied, like a 1980s school kid, just like put upside down, shoved in the locker by the jocks. Like that was rough. Savage Orc Airboys. Savage Orc Airboys are a great pick against Vampire Counts because Vampire Counts typically kill Goblin Archers quickly with zombie or skeleton summons and hounds. But the thing about the Savage Orc Airboys is they're pretty much like Savage Orcs, like in melee. They are beastly. They're just like punching the dogs in the face, like, oh, and you know, killing the bats and everything. And it's bananas. Fly on Bread, thank you for the fat donation as well. Been an amazing stream today. Great games. Thanks for hosting these turn. You are welcome, Fly on Bread. We're having fun. And guys, we are joined by Italian Spartacus. Italian Spartacus is here. The notorious YouTuber himself. If you guys haven't seen his channel, make sure to check him out. He's got all kinds of dank content and lore videos. Always a good time over there. Fellow co-caster from the Everchosen. Yeah. We haven't had any High Elf games today, actually. It's been a ton of Greenskins. Actually, a fair amount of Dwarf games. We've had a couple Lizardmen games. One or two Vampire Coast games. But it's been mostly... Italian Spartacus, thank you for the donation. He just wants me to get Wookie because Wookie actually shat on me on stream a couple weeks ago because, I don't know, he tends to do that when I hold him for too long. Are we at 1,000 likes? Maybe at the end. I'll get Wookie at the end of the stream. I'll get him at the very end to close it out. So you guys can have that to look forward to. And guys, we're at 642 likes. Make sure to drop a like if you haven't already. It does help out quite a bit. Yes. I will get him towards the end of the stream. Wookie will come. I was streaming Magic the Gathering. If you guys want to look back into a stream like from like 2 weeks ago, I was streaming Magic and I was holding Wookie and he actually shat on me, but it was like below the camera so you guys couldn't see. I was like, oh, Wookie. Yeah, it was so gross. And he was just looking at me like with his tongue sticking out, like all decrepit. Yeah, it was horrible. Lovely times. I like how there's like a professional esports cast here I'm trying to put out that vibe, right? And then I'm just talking about Wookie. It's hopeless. I actually have this shameful display shirt on from the Shogun Total War. Scissor kick that like button. Oh man. Yeah, Pippington's got it. Van Beastman picking dwarves. We're going to see what Pippington is going to pick. He's still, because you can't play the same one twice, and it looks like he's going to go Chaos. Chaos is very good against dwarves. Their AP infantry are just like top notch, and you have chariots, you have heavy cav, you have armor piercing, like, but dwarves can beat them. I mean, you guys saw that earlier. Professor Pipes actually had a really good showcase, so it'd be really interesting to see what Pippington does differently. You probably did see that game earlier as well, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Pipes will switch up the build, knowing that, you know, when they're not playing, they can be watching the tournament, right? So it's just like, you know, any sort of tournament, typically. Wookie did use his Nurgle magic. Yeah. It is time. I know the stream was a little bit late today, guys, so my apologies for that, but hopefully it's... Creative Assembly gave that shirt to me when I was at their offices, yeah. For the Ever-Chosen Invitational. Chaos versus Dwarves. I think Chaos has a slight advantage. You can even use Archaon now, who actually has a really good armor piercing. That would be really interesting to see an Archaon pick. He could kill a Rune Lord so fast. Yeah. Yeah. Gonna be fun, guys. I don't know. We'll see if the Dwarves can pull it out. The Dwarves have had a pretty good run today. They won that game. I think they had a victory earlier in the stream as well. So they've had some good performances. Pretty eager to see what Professor Pipes has. I know he plays Dwarves quite a bit, so there could be some unorthodox builds that we could potentially see from him. It'd be quite a bit of fun. And yes, this is the final. This is the we're in a best of 5 right now, so currently Pippington is up 1-0. So if he sweeps and wins the next 2 games, it's over. But again, it's best of 5, so that's going to be the nature here of the finals. And the winner will be earning one of our pieces of 8 here. So we'll go ahead and show you guys. The pieces of 8 essentially qualify you for the grand finals. So we had Rightist, Flying Taco, Exploding Hamster, and Felcon are currently qualified. This is going to be the 5th, so it's going to be down here, the center one. And then the other 3 will be filled out over the next couple weeks. After that, we're going to have an Ever-Chosen style final, which will definitely be quite a bit of fun. It's going to be an 8-man tournament. It's going to be balls deep. It's going to be great. So I'm going to be so tired at work, 5 hours, but screw it. Tiamat, that's right, brother. That's what I'm talking about. The amount of games depends on who wins. Yeah. Yes. King Ajazal, thank you for the $3 donation. Happy to catch a stream live. Well, happy to have you here, man. I love the Palpatine logo. Yeah, we do have a rematch between Dwarves and Chaos. So, oh yeah, start. Yeah. Pipes, do not shame your ancestors. The Zach, oh man. Yeah, this is a fun matchup though. I love Dwarves versus Chaos. It's a fun one. I find that Runes of Wrath and Ruin are like the key to victory because Chaos heavy infantry can just outclass Dwarf heavy infantry so much. So if you're able to really effectively use your Runes of Wrath and Ruin and kind of drag Chaos through the mud a little bit, there's a lot of cool tactics you can do for sure. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just like massaging my forearm right now. That's why I'm like hunched over kind of weirdly. Damn wrist tendonitis. We were gonna go on a road trip today, Lady Turner and I, but we both slept like we're super tired because we stayed up really late just messing around. Messing around. But yeah, so basically, you know, we were just like, oh, let's just go in the next few days. It'll be fine. Plus, we wanted to do a dank stream for you guys. Sunday's usually stream day, and since do YouTube for a living, it doesn't matter what day when we go. Andrew Kinsley, love the content. May the grudges be fulfilled. Well, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the content, and we are here. And guys, oh man, I have an awesome Skaven game for you guys tomorrow on the channel. It's a mass Skaven artillery build. I use like 5 or 6 artillery pieces and just like clan rats, and it's so much fun. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, you guys see the coins? Oh, okay. I forgot to switch back. It's okay, the game's about to start anyway, so I'll switch it back now. Imagine if you just had to watch the coins the rest of the stream. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Massaging my forearm. Oh my god. You guys are out of control. Can you guys see everything now? I didn't think about the connotations of messing around. That's really funny. Oh my god. You guys, calm down, all right? Get your minds out of the gutter. It's actually $30, Stephen Hunt, or Stefan, I'm not sure. It could be either one. All right, guys, so we're here with Game 2 in the finals. Currently, Pippington is up 1-0. Again, it's going to be a best of 5. The Rune Lord here is going to be the choice for the Dwarves, and triple Gyrocopters. So the Gyrocopters are going to have their work cut out for them because there is an Exalted Hero and a Manticore, and the Exalted Hero Manticore does not rampage. So that thing could definitely do some work, but if he's able to split up his fire and kind of, you know, get that good, sweet, juicy crossfire going on, he should be okay. And Gyrocopters are a lot faster than Manticores. Manticores have 85 speed to their 105. For the rest of the Dwarf army, oh my god, look at this formation. It's Ironbreakers. So 3 Ironbreakers, one of them being Norgrimlings. The Peak Gate Guard, the elite of the elite Dawi forces here. They're going to be backed up by Giant Slayers, the Dragonback Slayers in the back, and a Rune Lord. Oh my god, this is so absurd. We also have the Grumbling Guard. So the Grumbling Guard, a very good armor-piercing troop, very powerful. And yeah, I don't know, this is like Turtle with the Dwarf formation here, and then use Gyrocopters to pick them apart. This is going to be ridiculous. So, well, here we go, guys. This is quite a match. The Dawi box is back. For the Warriors of Chaos, we just have armor-piercing infantry into the sunset. We have Chaos Marauders with great weapons, Chaos Warriors with great weapons, which are a super good choice. I mean, Chaos Warriors with great weapons, one of the more cost-effective AP infantry units in the game. Sartorial, the Ever Chicken, one of the best lords of magic against dwarves is actually the metal because it simply debuffs their armor as well as their combat stats, which is very good in that long, grindy fight. So we have an Exalted Hero up here in the skies, a couple Gorby's Chariots, which honestly aren't going to do a whole lot against this dwarven formation. And that is it. So man, what a strange build. This is going to be a weird game. I really don't know how this is going to go. Ryan Murdoch, thank you for the €20 donation. Hey dude, really enjoying the content. I'm a developer and watch it every day on my second monitor. Keep it cool, my dude. From a Scotsman in Ireland. Well, Ryan, thank you so much, man. Hopefully this helps you get through work. The Dwarf Turtle box from hell. The Peak Gate Guard are in the secondary formation, so you don't want them taking the frontal charge, even though, as far as like great weapon units goes, they have really good melee defense at 46. But this is gonna be pretty sweet for sure. Let's fuel the Tourney's Furnace with some. Oh, what is that? I don't know what that currency that is, prisoner. Well, thank you so much. Is that? I don't know how much that is. So if somebody could let me know, that's crazy, man. I have a feeling it's a fair amount. Prisoner, thank you, man. And I know you said you wanted to play in one of these. We'll have to get you in as well. So the Dwarven Hell box, which is going to survive while the Gyrocopters bomb things and shoot with armor-piercing missiles. So, start when ready. And yeah, showtime. Yeah, how much is that? I don't know what currency that is. Yeah, but hey, man, prisoner, thank you so much. How much ever that is, regardless, I really appreciate it. You don't think the dwarves are going to win? So what do you guys think, chat? Do you guys think we're going to have a victory for the dwarves here, or do you think we're going to have one for the Warriors of Chaos? We will find out in due time. So the Exalted Hero is going to be flying in, but again, the Dawi have that sweet crossfire. See, they can shoot him, and the other one can simply run while they shoot at his back. That's going to be pretty good. And also, the Chaos is going to have to blob up against his dwarven just box from hell, which is so funny. And while Chaos is blobbed on this, they can drop bombs. So if the bombing play is really good from the dwarves, maybe they could pull out a bit of an upset victory here. Oh my god, this is just so memey, this dwarf formation. The extreme meme team living up to its name here. They don't even have any missiles. It looks like a Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin was dropped here, which I think is a bit of a waste. It does slow it, but I really don't think that was necessary because you can simply kite it anyways. And yeah, you can see the Manticore is just going to be getting kill box here. Look at it. He's just like, oh, help me, I'm so weak and slow. As the Gyrocopters do shoot in, and they're definitely doing some good damage. So, I mean, getting rid of that guy costs like about 1,200 gold. It's not cheap, right? So So the Dwarven Hellbox is just sitting here in their defensive formation, and he's following the rules of the tournament because the gyrocopters are shooting, therefore he is attacking. Now, if he didn't have the gyrocopters, he would have to advance. He couldn't sit still, but the gyrocopters allow him to have this style of play, which is so funny. So the gyrocopter is just killing this exalted hero. The Chaos Infantry is coming in, but Warp Chicken is going to be good. He actually is really good at disrupting formations and charging. And yeah, the exalted hero is just being kited in circles here. I think Pippington has the tools to grind out this battle. The Gorby's Chariots definitely want to come in and wait for something to be engaged and maybe hit these guys like in the side so their charge bonus doesn't help them. Like if he could get like a really good engagement like right up on the side of the formation, he could be in pretty good shape. Now the other gyrocopters with brimstone guns are going to be chasing down the Gorby's Chariot here. The other gyrocopters coming back to work on the exalted hero. And Warp Chicken's going to start kind of wading into the formation. Now, what this is going to do is if Warp Chicken charges in there and they pile in, they're not going to have their charge defense in that moment. You can see the Ironbreakers here might be able to reform ranks, but the Gorby's Chariot's coming in and they get an okay charge. Definitely not bad. It does a little bit of damage, but the Slayers are piling in and the Haggard fight is underway. So the Giant Slayers rush out, Dragonback Slayers, Gyrocopters shooting in, but the Manticore actually catches one of these Gyrocopters with the Brimstone gun, so those bad boys need to run. He cannot let that Manticore feast on those guys. And he's actually charging in with the Gyrocopters to pin down the Warp Chicken, and now we have a pit fight. Oh, this is not good for the KFC King. There's Slayers everywhere. So the Dwarven Slayers are beating on him. The Gyrocopters using their mass to pin him in, but the Everwatcher is really, really tanky. So he's able to kind of get out of there and, tackle as he escapes. On the far side, Chaos Warriors coming through the forest here. Great weapons everywhere. The Peak Gate Guard will be engaging. Oh, but a nice Gorby's Chariot coming into those Grumbling Guard who were not braced. Therefore, they're going to be taking quite a bit of damage. But the Gyrocopters charge in, providing some mass there to pin them in place. And the Gyrocopter play is looking pretty solid, but the Dwarven Doombox is holding firm so far. The Peak Gate Guard, of course, are fighting up here on this other side. Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are hit with the Transmutation of Lead. And the fight is underway, so really I have no predictions. This is just such an absurd game. Oh yeah, final Transmutation would be disgusting right here. That would probably honestly just win him the game outright. But Pippington didn't actually bring that, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot here. In the meantime, the Master Rune of Negation going down, which is going to give 44% ward save to all of these units. Dragonback Slayers piling in. And the Gyrocopters are still doing a good job. Being pressured a little bit, though. This one over here, the Gyrocopter with the Brimstone gun, is down to like half health. And yeah, this Exalted Hero's on the hunt. He's coming for that booty. And the Chaos Marauders are actually buckling off. Giant Slayers, unfortunately, are fighting in melee, which is not what you want. You don't want them fighting infantry. They should be fighting just like the Chariots and the Warp Chicken. But I mean, I guess some of them are attacking Chariots, which is good. The Ironbreakers are holding to the bitter end here in the front. The Exalted Hero is still doing its thing. These Gyros are sitting, and I think the other ones have been dove into melee. I'm not sure. Oh, no, the other ones are actually back here. So Professor Pipes needs to get those guys back ASAP. But the Chariots from Chaos are getting really beat up. They're getting low. They're taking Overwatch fire here from the Gyrocopters up in the skies. And the Dwarven Doombox is holding pretty firm. Oh, but Warp Chicken is fully surrounded by Dragonback Slayers. This is the worst situation possible. They're going to slow him down to 39 speed, which makes him actually faster. And I think there's actually the Dragonback Slayers and then the Grumbling Guard. Okay, but man, he just took like 1,000+ damage. So that potentially could give Professor Pipes the game if he's able to finish off the Warp Chicken. The Dawi Doombox is doing its thing, and the Gyrocopters looks like they're going to be dropping some bombs as well. I think they just did. But this Rune Lord is helping this formation hold firm. We have more Ironbreakers 69 over there. That's what she said. And man, this Dwarven Doom formation I think is holding pretty resolute here. And Professor Pipes does have a slight advantage in regards to the bounce of power here. And this is just so absurd. Oh, the Dawi bombs are being dropped on the Chaos Warriors with great weapons. This is just absolute insanity. And you can see here the Chaos Warriors are starting to buckle. The Manticore can't really find a home. He's just looking. He can't really get engaged. And the Peak Gate Guard are still fighting. They have 47 kills. And I don't know, the Dwarves, I think, are going to pull this one out. I mean, they have so many Ironbreakers here. They need to rush those guys into melee, but I think he was throwing blasting charges. And here you can see the Manticore is going to be chasing down the Gyrocopter with the Brimstone gun. But, yeah, I don't know. The Dwarven formation is rallying. The Gorby's Chariots, excuse me. It's just so intense, I can barely handle it. The Gorby's Chariots here are being forced back by the Slayers, the Giant Slayers, especially with their armor piercing. And it looks like the Chaos formation is going to be breaking and running. Look at that, the Dwarves are rallying. They're able to break the Chaos armies. The Rune Lord here is able to anchor his formation with the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. And the Chaos Warriors are completely faltering. They still have the Manticore here up in the sky, but the Gyrocopters have plenty of ammo. They can still crossfire him. And man, this is just insanity. The Warp Chicken is trying to run away, but the Slayers are just waddling after him. And he's just taking blasting charges to the face. He's like, oh god. The Dragonback Slayers are here now. They're going to put his speed down to 39. A nice Transmutation of Lead coming in from Pippington, but I think the Dwarves just have too much power left. Too many Slayers. Hammers are still somewhat healthy. He has Ironbreakers, and Chaos is just... Oh, but I think Pippington actually forgot about some Chaos Marauders over here, which is unfortunate. That extra AP could have potentially helped him, but yeah, damn, that's too bad. He did forget about those guys, I think. So Pippington, unfortunately, did leave those guys back, but regardless, it was still a super good fight. The chariots are running. I mean, the Manticore is still in okay shape chasing these guys down. There's a small chance, but if Pippington actually had an overcasted Final Transmutation and was able to cast it on these guys, I think that could actually pull the game back for him. But he doesn't have that spell, unfortunately. He just has the armor debuffs as well as some of the Transmutation of Blood. So still both very good spells against dwarves, but man, with the nature of this box play coming in from the Dawi, that would have been really, really good for sure. So yeah, man, the Dawi box deck for sure. I mean, going back to the OG Warhammer 1 formations, and he followed the rules of the tournament because the gyrocopters were engaged the entire time. Therefore, he was engaging, forcing the Chaos player to come to him. So yeah, that's otherwise he would have had to march. He couldn't have like stood against this rock here and use it. Just look at the onslaught of like chaos, like chariots and corpses here as they were bombarded by the gyrocopters. And now the Dawi are just going to be sitting and fighting with the gyros a little bit. And the Grumbling Guard over here fighting the Warp Chicken. I don't know if Pip's going to be able to pull this one out. I mean, he still does have that Exalted Hero, and I don't know if he knows he has these guys. He must be refarming his ranks. Yeah, okay. I don't know, maybe Pippington can pull something out. Maybe he's going to be rerouting. So a second wave of chaos coming, a second, kind of onslaught, and 51 Ironbreakers here, 30 Peak Gate Guard, 48 Norgumlings Ironbreakers, and the Giant Slayers are going to be chasing these guys. And yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I do not know how this is going to go. The Exalted Hero is going to be diving in to chew on these Ironbreakers, which is a pretty good choice. Peak Gate Guard are going to be rushing forward to kind of hammer him down. He might be able to get a little damage. 2,400 HP. Oh, and he does charge into the hammers. That's a little bit dicey. There's no Slayers here to slow him down, and he has pretty good mass, so he should be able to kind of do as he pleases. But the Chaos Onslaught's coming, so we are here for the second wave of combat, and we got a cockfight on our hands. Yes. Yeah, here we go. So the Gyrocopter's charging in. They do have pretty good mass. He was trying to pin in the Manticore, but the Manticore does slip away. Manticores are pretty high mass units themselves. Transmutation of Lead is going to be going down as well. He's timing that with his second onslaught here, lowering the melee attack of all these troops down to like 10 or like 4 on these Ironbreakers. And here we go. So the fight is underway. The Chaos Marauders charging into the wall of dwarves. Bombs going down in the background. By far one of the more entertaining fights here on the stream as well. And yeah, I don't know if the Chaos Marauders are going to be able to do it. They might be able to pull something out if Warp Chicken can kind of slam jam all over these guys. The Manticore is causing a lot of problems, actually. These Gyrocopters have a couple shots left, 2 volleys. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Dragonback Slayers are on the hunt, and if they're able to get on this target and slow him down, so 85 speed goes down to 55. He's taking shots in the back. He's wavering. If this Manticore breaks, Professor Pipes has to 100% chase it off the battlefield. It's still healthy. It can still make a difference. Chase that thing off. Don't let it come back. In the meantime, Chaos is putting up a pretty good fight here, actually. Buckling the Peak Gate Guard, but the Rune Lord, given the Master Rune and Negation, is going to hit all of those guys. And that's going to be army losses, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be game for Chaos. So Warp Chicken is going to fight to the bitter end. So yeah, let me get back to some of these donations. Robert Hugh, thank you for the donation. Keep this train going. We got Pi with the €2 donation. Thank you, Pi. Love Pi. And Lady Turn and I actually go to a diner like twice a week and just feast on pies at night. And let's see, Ek Esteres for the €19 donation. My apology if I mangled that, but thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. We also have another donation coming in from Cole on PayPal for the $5 US. Thank you, man. Really appreciate the support you guys are giving. GG. What a game. What a game. The Dawi Box of Doom. I really thought Chaos might be able to overrun them there, but you know who would have won that game would be Kolek. Kolek probably would have just like spanked that Dwarven box. Although maybe not. Receive your punishment. The bird just going down in a blaze of glory as the Dawi onslaught, and they let loose a resounding roar as they trample the foul Chaos spawn. Oh, did he just get knocked over? I thought he was dead. He's like, surprise, I'm still alive. And like, oh, never mind, I'm actually dead now. So now down he goes. Oh my god. Yeah, Lady Turn and I go to this really old person diner. It's a 24-hour diner in Burbank, and we go and eat pies there at like 2 in the morning. Oh, they're so good. They're like those hearty all-American pies that are just so good and tasty. So Professor Pipes is going to tie the series 1-1. This is best of 5, guys. This is best of 5, and man, we have a show on our hands. I know Richard is the inspiration today, huh? His fat donations. Adam, the answer is genetics. Yes. We go at like 3 a.m. to this diner and just feast. So good. Yeah. Always getting bullied by the bad guy factions. Professor Pipes pulling out that Jawi game. Fight, chicken, fight, says Pippington. Oh my god. Yeah. Lady Turn's the best. Like, I sometimes am shocked at how lucky I am. Like, I'll be like working on YouTube. She'll like make some dank thumbnails for me, and then later she'll like paint Warhammer with me and actually enjoy it. And then we go eat pie at like 3 a.m. It's like, is this real life? It's such a good diner, Brian. It's so good. Next level dwarven geometry. King Agizal, thank you, man. That was super funny. Oh my god. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go get some more water so my voice doesn't give out. Colin G, thank you for the $5 donation. Pie for the pie god. Oh man, I love pumpkin pie. Strawberry pie is really good. Blueberry. Apple pie is always a classic too. Simon Benjamin, thank you for the 20. The fat 20, man. God damn. Thank you guys. I won the lottery today. I know, tell me about it. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of stem cells for my wrist. I actually do have that doctor's appointment on the 10th, so we'll see what they say. All right, we're back. Game 3. I feel the sand's overtaking me. Hippington's going to be playing Tomb Kings versus Empire, so this is actually a really fun matchup for sure. Let me make sure I have the screen blocker up. I do. I got it right. For once, finally. Oh, man. Empire all cav? Well, knowing Professor Pipes, we're probably going to be seeing Temple of Luminarchs and all kinds of shenanigans, so... What other Empire memes are there? Balthazar Gelt's always been a pretty big meme, but he's actually not bad in this matchup. A Final Transmutation can really punish Tomb King Death Stars and stuff. Yeah. If you guys... maybe someday we'll have, like, a meetup where we can all, like, hang out and go to a diner together in LA. If any of you guys live in Los Angeles, I don't know who does, but... I don't know who does, my friends. God damn, thank you guys so much today. Jesus Christ, for all the donations. Oh my god, Professor Pipes, was he switching? Oh, okay, he was. I thought he was switching to Chaos for a second, and I thought he had Archaon selected, and I was like, is it happening? Flatulence. Probably gonna see cannons, Demogryph Knights, you know, stuff like that. If there was a technology that was like, hey, like, we're going to chop off one of your hands and give you a Luke Skywalker hand from Star Wars that can functionally work and like click things and has like the same dexterity as my old hand or close, I would be like, yes, give me that robo hand. I would actually do that. Hell yeah. Make me into a cyborg. I don't care. The name of the cafe is called the Coral Cafe in Burbank. It's open 24 hours. So if like, with my YouTuber schedule, Anna and I will just be like, hey, let's go feast. And we just sit there and enjoy pie. And it's like a very wholesome, comfy diner. It has that like 1950s feel to it. It's great. It's great. Everyone there is really nice. It's fun. Christian, thank you for the donation, man. Let's have some shenanigans. Well, you have the Extreme Meme team facing off against Cycle Charge. There will be shenanigans. We'll have a pie feast. I will get you guys a table. If we had a meetup, I would just order like 6 pies and we could all just feast. Michael Duran, sup man? Awesome stream, bro. Keep up the quality content. I will. Thank you, man. And oh my, holy shit, Richard Wirtz with another 50, a fat 50. Wisconsin native, never been to Cali. Well, if you're in Cali, let me know, man. We'll feast on some pie on me. Thank you so much, Richard. God damn. We'll have a pie meetup someday. God, that'd be really fun. General Confusion plays. Look, man, I'm just mad nobody played Skaven. Yeah, great. There could be Skaven. So the series is currently tied 1-1, and it's best of 5. So there's at the very least, going to be 2 more games here on the stream. Pie for the pie god. Beyond the world, he sits atop a throne of skulls. Throwing the green stuff. Fly you to the States. Lady Turin and I might be going out to Europe for Christmas. We might go see her family in Poland, so. Yeah. I'll pay for the pies. I'll pay for the pies, no stress. All right. Here we go, guys. Thank you guys all for the donations. It's really making my day. Really appreciate it. I will continue to push through this agonizing wrist pain to cast content for you guys. And here we are in game 3. Currently, the series is 1-1. Both players have 1 game, obviously. Professor Pipes is going to be coming out with Balthazar Gelt. So Pimp Daddy Gelt with the final transmutation. That's what we were waiting for. And aside from that, looks like it's going to be great swords. We do have some swordsmen. Sigmar Sons, more great swords. That's a pretty good front line. Great swords are going to annihilate Tomb King's infantry because Tomb King's infantry lack the armor piercing to deal with their 95 armor. On top of that, we have Sigmar Sons, always a pretty solid choice. They hold to the bitter end. We have Balthazar Gelt with the final transmutation, a Witch Hunter as well, who's great against constructs. Heavy armor piercing missiles. He also has accusation against Cetra and Arkin, and it's just a very, very good, solid choice. So on top of that, we have a couple spearmen, so 2 spearmen on the far sides, 2 groups of the Demogryph Knights. Both are standard. You don't really need the Royal Altaf Gryphites because the terror is kind of useless here. And Hammer the Witches. Look what he's doing with Balthazar Gelt. Oh my god. On top of that, we have Hammer the Witches here in the back, which is going to be laying some fire into those big constructs over there. Looks like there are a couple. Knights of the Blazing Sun, which are always very good against Tomb King's infantry and chaff and things like that. Not so good against constructs. I mean, they're still not bad, but at least they do fire damage against Cetra, who I think is weak to fire, yes. For the Tomb Kings, we have the double Tomb Scorpions. So, Pippington coming out with just all business build. He has 2 Tomb Scorpions. He has Cetra the Imperishable and a Kemrian War Sphinx. He does also have Carrion up in the skies to disrupt any sort of harass. On top of that, Necropolis Knights with Halberds, 2 Shoptu Great Bows, and a whole front line of Skeleton Warriors. So yeah, it's going to be a fight. I'm going to start when ready. Polish food's great. Dumplings, oh, pierogi is so good. Pierogi is so good. I love Polish food. It's like heavy. It has like a lot of meat and dumplings, and oh, it's so good. Polish food is bardzo dobrze, in my opinion, which means very good in Polish. All right, so the forces of the Tomb Kings are going to be advancing forward. The Empire might have to move because of the Ushapti Great Bows. Granted, the Hammer of the Witches, I would probably just sit and lay into the Ushapti Great Bows for the entire game. Just sit on the Chosen of the Gods until they crumble, and then move on to the other Ushapti Great Bows and use your Demogryph Knights to deal with the other constructs. However, the Snakes do have a... The Tomb Kings do have double Necropolis Knights with Halberds, so they certainly have a force. Oh, but they need to get in position because these Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to do so much damage and then probably just pull back. Because you can see here the Necropolis Knights with Halberds are rushing out, but 71 speed on Knights of the Blazing Sun against 66. They should be able to get in and get some value. And also you can see an accusation going down to the carry and like, heresy, you damn birds. And here come the Knights of the Blazing Sun with a fat, juicy charge. And Necropolis Knights are a little bit out of position. Pipe's better. Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's got to maybe pull these guys back. Yeah, I think he realized that was too risky of a gambit, right? Like he was going to get caught and punished. So he's going to be pulling back. Although the Carrion do try and intercept, but the Knights of the Blazing Sun should be able to push past him. And so far, it's a pretty good little situation here. The Hammer of the Witches is shooting at the Ushapti in the back. It has killed 1 model, which is nice, but the Ushapti Great Bow is raining some heavy fire on these Knights of the Blazing Sun. Oh no, Pimp Daddy Gelt, you need to escape. This could be game. Oh man, if Gelt had been fully surrounded and killed, that would have just been game blouses. In the back, Carrion are going to be landing on the Hammer of the Witches, but Knights of the Blazing Sun, Demogryph Knights are like not in our hood. And the Ushapti Great Bows are going down, so both players trading pretty evenly. The damage so far on the Empire forces pretty much matches that on the Ushapti Great Bows, as well as this group of Carrion, who do cost about 350. So here in the front, you can see that the Sigmar Sons and the other guys are going to be engaging. Of course, there's a massive Angry Tomb Scorpion, and the Witch Hunter is just kind of casually jogging in front of some Skeleton Spears, 360 no-scoping them as he does, which is always pretty cool. But Hammer of the Witch is proving to be pretty good here. Demogryph Knights, in the meantime, are going to be countercharging this Tomb Scorpion. So far, Professor Pipe's doing a pretty good job, but another countercharge coming in from the Necropolis Knights, and that 2v1 is going to be tough. Those Greatswords need to rush in and help because those Demogryph Knights are in the wrong neighborhood. However, there's probably going to be a final transmutation overcasted right here. I would overcast it so hard in this formation that, oh, that's going to be a value train. That's going to hit the Tomb Scorpion, the 2 Necropolis Knights, as well as these Skeleton Spears. Beautiful play there from Pipes, blobbing those guys up, and he's going to net massive, massive value. So very, very well played there. He also has spears coming in. So suddenly that goes from a really bad situation for the Empire to a massive advantage. So he's able to just Shrek those Necropolis Knights. Damn, that was a beautiful final transmutation. In the meantime, Cetra the Imperishable is going to be pulling around the flank, but still the Empire is going to falter a little bit. Demogryph Knights are falling, but look at the damage he was able to get there. That was still a ton, right? The rest of the fight, Knights of the Blazing Sun have charged into the front line, and they pretty much have free reign right now because you can see all the Necropolis Knights and Anti-Large Specialists over here are busy there, so the Knights of the Blazing Sun should just be cycle charging this front line. One Tomb Scorpion from the Tomb Kings here is doing good against the Greatswords, but Spearmen are piling in, and it looks like Cetra might be going after this Witch Hunter here. Hard to say. Necropolis Knights are coming in as well, but they're very beat up. The Knights of the Blazing Sun could actually just wreck these Necropolis Knights with a full charge there. Witch Hunter is fighting against Cetra. The cannon is still shooting, it looks like, going after the Ushabti in the back, but seems like the cannon isn't generating as much value as it was earlier. Yeah, there we go. Right as I say that, it kills like 2 Ushabti models. So, Knights of the Blazing Sun and Demogryph Knights are fighting the Necropolis Knights. It looks like the big Cetra man is going to be going in the back, but Witch Hunter's still shooting them, and there are some spears, but Cetra should be able to shut down these cannons. Like, he is a powerhouse, right? Oh, but these Demogryph Knights, if the Demis could actually come back here and shut down Cetra, and you can see that Professor Pipes is going to be pathing these Demogryph Knights into Cetra the Imperishable, and Cetra could potentially fall here to Demogryph Knights, Witch Hunter, plus Balthazar if he flies in there and overcast Final Transmutation, or even just whacks him with his Pimp Cane. It could potentially do some work, right? Ooh, but look at that. An Ushabti summon coming in from Pippington. Beautiful play there. It's going to allow Cetra the time he needs to escape or to continue fighting and give him a bit of a bolster there. The Necropolis Knights, one group is fully down. The other one is in decent shape. Yeah, these guys are only a matter of seconds before they crumble out. 600 HP, but they still have 6 models, which is interesting. But the Greatswords in the front line, Sigmar Sun's performing pretty well. We have a very even fight. The Ushabti in the back are still online, which is unfortunate. We have 2 groups of heavy cav. Now, these Knights of the Blazing Sun can either rear charge these infantry, or they could go back here and maybe finish off those Ushabti. Now, back here might be a good time for another final transmutation. It's hard to say. Hammer of the Witches is being compromised. The Tomb Kings, I think, are finally starting to kind of take this game. You can see the double Tomb Scorpions here just pounding this Witch Hunter, so he's in the wrong neighborhood, but the Empire has been putting up a great fight for sure. But Pippington with some good maneuvering and targeting and keeping these Ushabti alive by pressuring the Hammer of the Witches in the back. Looks like he might be able to stabilize this. Hard to say, but the bounce power is still pretty even. I mean, there's still a ton of Imperial Greatswords. There are a ton of counters to the Greatswords right here, right? There's Cetra, there's double Tomb Scorpion, there's still plenty of resources to take those guys out. So here comes Cetra, diving through the ranks, just crushing and mulching these guys. Balthazar Gelt is even getting his hands dirty, and the Hammer of the Witches is still shooting these Greatswords. Oh, get them back here. If these Greatswords, 72 models, get back there, they could definitely do some huge damage, but it looks like the game might be slipping for the Tomb Kings a little bit, but you know what could actually win this game for the Empire is if he's able to blob up the Scorpion, Cetra, and the remaining constructs and overcast a final transmutation or even just cast a regular one. That might be enough. So Knights of the Blazing Sun do get into the back line. He needs to get those Greatswords fighting again. Balthazar Gelt and the Sigmar Suns all fighting in the pit against the Tomb Scorpion. And yeah, if they can get rid of the chaff, final transmutation could be a savior. Oh, but look at this. The Hammer of the Witches still, it only has 1 cannon left. It's not going to be nearly as effective, but he is able to stabilize his cannon in the back, which is huge at this point in the game. Greatswords are going to be past or after the Ushabti chosen to the gods in the back. Necropolis Knights are just doing their best to clean things up. But Sigmar's boys still have a pretty good little fight here going in the front. They have Greatswords, Sigmar Suns. These guys are still doing their thing. And yeah, you can see here that Balthazar Gelt is just Pimp Daddy Gelt up in the skies, just floating on his bird, just doing great work. So the Chosen of the Gods are going to be falling back. Greatswords were caught by Necropolis Knights, but at the very least, Greatswords have decent armor piercing, right? So at least they can put some damage into these big constructs. Granted, Cetra is going to butter their bread so hard. Oh, with Chosen of the Gods shooting them in the back, that is really, really tough. So the Empire is trying their best to get back online here. Bounce of power slightly in the favor of the Tomb Kings, as Professor Pipes and Balthazar Gelt are trying their best to kind of wear down these constructs. The Tomb Scorpions are really, really tough to take down, but I have a feeling that he's saving up for another final transmutation. And if he's able to get a really effective one that hits multiple constructs, maybe that could pull the game back in his favor. Balthazar Gelt actually coming in to fight this Tomb Scorpion. He gets a really good hit there. He actually breaks its leadership for a moment. Sigmar Suns are piling in as well. Ooh, but the Necropolis Knights are piling in. Oh, that's going to be tough. They're anti-large. Oh, but here comes a final transmutation. This could be what he needs to get him back in the game, and it is going to rip into these Necropolis Knights as well as his Tomb Scorpion. You can see this guy starting to take some pretty substantial damage here. Goes down to 915, and that was a great cast. Breaking the leadership, probably going to kill the Necropolis Knights. And you can see it kind of does tilt the bounce of power a little bit, but it didn't quite finish those guys off. It wasn't an overcast, so it's not going to be quite as brutal. But Balthazar might be able to finish these guys off by himself. The Greatsword's in the back fighting Cetra. And the Hammer of the Witch's crew is now back online. They have one cannon left. These true heroes of the Empire, they're going to stay and fight. And they're going to break. The Ushopti Great Bowfire pretty much kills them to the last man. So they're pretty much going to run, which, you know, I completely respect here. Sigmar Sons are still fighting as well. Nero's Incantation of Protection going down to help this guy out. Balthazar Gelt coming in with the Cycle Charge, which is definitely going to be very good against the Tomb Scorpions. He needs to get those things down. The Greatsword's actually putting a bit of a hurt on Cetra. I mean, not a ton of damage, but they are working him down. And yeah, I mean, every game today has just been so close. This is crazy. So this one Tomb Scorpion's crumbling, about 315 HP. Balthazar Gelt, the Supreme Patriarch with Quicksilver, his mighty steed, are actually killing the Tomb Scorpions. Largely due to the fact that Sigmar Sons are unbreakable. They're not going to run. They're going to fight to the bitter end. And this one Tomb Scorpion is undoubtedly about to die. Some more Spheres coming in. Over here we have some more Greatswords. We have 30 models. Problem is that the Ushopti still have a fair amount of ammo. 4 shots volleys left here and 3 on the Chosen of the Gods. But these Greatswords are also very, they've done 400 damage since last we looked. They're disrupting the Great Bowfire and allowing Pimp Daddy Gelt and his Goon Squad here to actually finish off the Tomb Scorpions. I mean, if Pipes pulls this out, that would be an insane comeback. And you can see the bounce of power actually evening out. So now the bounce is pretty much like dead even at this point, guys, which is pretty loony for sure. So the Tomb Scorpion is crumbling. Balthazar Gelt's Pimp Cane has just been doing too much damage. And if Balthazar can muster one more final transmutation, Professor Pipes might be able to pull this one out. Cetra's coming in. He's had enough. Greatswords in the back, though. Oh, this is not good. The Chosen of the Gods should be running. They can actually kite the Greatswords. They do not want to be fighting in melee. I mean, Greatswords are meant for infantry, but they still have great AP, right? So the Empire is enduring. I mean, Sigmar Sons are really kind of holding this all together. This other Tomb Scorpion has 330 HP. Balthazar Gelt should just be cycle charging. Oh, and here comes Gelt. Gelt comes in with the Cycle Charge, is able to get a nice little attack there on the Tomb Scorpion, and Balthazar Gelt kills the Tomb Scorpion in melee. Absolute insanity. And you can see here that he's going to be rallying some of the Spearmen. And, man, I don't know. Can the Empire pull this one out? Do they have any troops across the map? It looks like there are some swordsmen back there who aren't really going to do a whole lot, but I mean, Sigmar Sons, the Greatswords are still fighting, but yeah, he's going to focus on the Greatswords in the back, which is a pretty good choice. Now, if Balthazar Gelt has a final transmutation right here, that would be so nasty. I cannot believe that this is still like, oh, and he uses a Plague of Rust. So he opts to use Plague of Rust instead of saving for a final transmutation. There's no way he still has the Winds of Magic for everything else that he wants to do. But these Chosen of the Gods are actually crumbling. They're at -2 leadership. The Greatswords are fighting, but Cetra is able to pimp slap Balthazar Gelt. Cetra, of course, is very powerful. And if Balthazar kind of gets taken a little bit lower, oh, he takes a huge hit, which is not good. Maybe he's going to charge over here and go after these Ushopti, because these ones are pretty much offline, right? 20 Greatswords here. It looks like 36 Spearmen. The Sigmar Sons must be getting very low if they're still around at all. 16 models. Yeah, Balthazar should just chase these guys and try and crumble them if he can. The Plague of Rust is still on them, right? So he should be able to do a little bit better damage. Incredibly close fight. This is such a close fight. But I don't know. I feel like the Imperial forces are probably going to rout off here. Just Cetra is so scary, right? Balthazar Gelt, the Patriarch, is scary in his own right, but he's not going to be able to like terror rout these like units, right? Obviously, they're constructs. They're pretty resilient. And the Imperial forces do suffer a bit of a mass rout, but he is able to kind of crumble the Chosen of the Gods here. They're at 1 leadership right now. Cetra's coming in. Man, these Sigmar Sons are just MVP. So here he comes, Balthazar Gelt swooping in once again. It looks like he's probably going to be able to kill at least one of the Chosen of the Gods. He gets him to -43 leadership, and the other state troops are going to be chased off the battlefield. I don't know. They're crumbling. They're so low, but Cetra is just going to kill Balthazar. I don't know what he can do against that. Cetra the Imperishable, just an absolute monster here. Yeah, you can see he's on the hunt, and Pimp Daddy Gelt, I don't know what he's going to be able to do. Man, what a... Oh, this could actually be good, though. If Balthazar could fly over here and deal with these Ushopti and let these Empire State troops rally, that might give him a chance to come back. Sigmar Sons down to the last man. There's 2 of them still fighting, and the Ushopti are crumbling around them. Let's see, they have -33, and down they go. 42, 36, 31. Oh my goodness, this last Ushopti is going to fall as these 2 Sigmar Sons. Look at these heroes of the Empire here. They're able to actually take out the freaking Ushoptis there. Wow. Balthazar Gelt, in the meantime, is on the hunt. How is Balthazar killing these Ushopti here? I guess Plague of Rust lowers their armor to the point where his low AP can do it, but oh my gosh, this is just insane. The balance of power is almost dead even. Look at the 2 Sigmar Sons are chasing Cetra the Imperishable. Cetra, of course, is coming for the Ushopti here, and some of these Spearmen might rally, which could potentially be something that could help him out. But yeah, look at this. Critical binding, they have 5 leadership, they're down to less than 1,000 HP. Balthazar is just chasing him on his Quicksilver mount, and he's doing a ton of damage. Both players are out of Winds of Magic at this point. I mean, they've used so much magic throughout the game. Cetra might have enough for like one of his like small buff spells, but you know, the problem being is that I think Cetra's curse has already gone off. So, oh, but look at this, Greatswords and Sigmar Sons and all the Imperial forces are rallying. I don't know if he's going to have enough, because these Ushopti actually still have some ammo left. They have one volley. They could potentially break one of these guys off. Wow, what a game. What a game, guys. This is nuts. Yeah, look at this. This brutal Balthazar Gelt and the Greatswords coming in and the Spearmen and all these other guys. And this is it. This is the final showdown. And this isn't even the last one. Regardless of who wins this, there's still going to be another game after this, right? Because they'll be up 2-1 in a best of 5. So, yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes, guys. The Spearmen moving in, the Greatswords moving in, Sigmar's Sons, the two of them. Balthazar Gelt leading his soldiers here. It would be really cool if he actually gave them armor. But Balthazar Gelt is able to dodge those shots. The Ushopti are now out of ammunition. And I don't know if the Empire is going to be able to hold here. I mean, they have almost nothing. This is going to be an instant terror rout, except the Sigmar Sons, I think. So he comes in and just dog piles on those guys. Balthazar Gelt comes in with a steel chair in the back. It's a nice little rear charge. Some damage going on Cetra. The Imperial forces are actually still holding somehow. But Balthazar Gelt is just getting smacked on. He's getting smacked on. I mean, he's shaken. Cetra gets a huge blow. And I think that epic game, the final stand of the Meme Lord is going to be it. And I think that Balthazar Gelt is going to fall. But what a game. Wow. This is probably, this stream, I think, has had the best games we've ever had on the channel as far as like one stream goes. Like this, all of these games today have just been so goddamn close and good. And that's going to put Pippington up 2-1. Now, Professor Pipes, if he takes it, the next game it's going to go to a best of 5. And the last of Sigmar's Sons, talk about hero. That guy is a hero. That was brutal. To me, Sons of Sigmar, for the Emperor. Yeah, that was great. Man, what a game. So let's update the score. Pippington goes up 2-1. Oh, that's Professor Pipes. I don't want to update his score. Pippington goes up 2-1. Man, and let's get that screen blocker going as well. We get Captain Barbosa here again. And yeah, wow. What a game. I bet both those players are just so like tense after that one. That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. And let me make sure I didn't miss any of this. All right. Did I miss anything in chat? I don't think so. I think all is well in the realm. Again, thank you guys so much for your generous donations today. It's been a fat stream. Just, oh man, so angry and chubby. The stream has been. So happy this is the one stream you've caught. Yeah, those Sigmar Sons. So we're going to see what they pick in the next game. Man, I have like gone through like 6 cups of water. Are you guys, every time I see like F spammed, I assume it's for the stream crashing, but I'm starting to realize now it's for like different units. That was insane. That was the best game we've had, one of the best games we've had by far. That took it up. That took it all out of me. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. gotta give Pipe some motivation. Man, yeah, handgunners would have been pretty good there for sure. But Ushopti Great Bows are scary to deal with. That was an insane game. That final transmutation play was pretty insane for sure. I think Pipes is playing Norska. I'm pretty sure that's what he's switching to. He's a pretty good Norscan player, so. Oh, man. Will Professor Pipes take this game and go to game 5, or will he go out in a blaze of glory and forever be immortalized in the halls of the ancestors? We'll find out. Best Bone Daddy versus first among meme lords. Balthazar Gelt is the first among meme lords for sure. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna have Norska. We'll give him some encouragement. Man, Pippington played a tight game too. That was so close. Both those guys just on fire there. That was really close. Norska, you say? Yes, we have Norska. We're going to see what they pick here. He's not playing Dwarf. He's playing Norska. Pippington is going to pick. Maybe he's going to go to Skaven. Skaven would be interesting here. I think that's a hard matchup. Norska has a good matchup for Skaven. There was a lot of Dwarfs today. We'll have a best of 5 between Professor Pipes and Professor Pone someday. Yeah, that's very true, Robert. I'll grab Wookiee before the stream's over. Yeah, I'll go get him towards the end. Don't stress it. Don't you stress it, my friends. I am the supreme patriarch. God, I can't believe Balthazar Gelt was like clubbing. And Lizardmen versus Norska. This is a fun matchup. We basically get to see Fimir fighting T-Rexes. We're going to see how that goes. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'll do some stretches, man. My shoulders are tight. Pipes loves his Dawi. Yeah, apparently so. I mean, he's played them to pretty good effect today. I loved his box strategy with the gyrocopters. That was pretty cool. I know. You guys know why this stream has been so fun. It's because there's been no elves. It's just like so much more pleasant to watch. Yeah. They're just dark elves. Dark elves just out of here. I mean, I like to see high elves and occasionally dark elves. I don't know. I just don't like watching wood elves for some reason. I know they're like dark elves are probably better than wood elves, but it's just I don't know. Wood elf style of play. People often abuse terrain and Premier just want to be lizard men. So we're gonna see how this goes. I like the build coming in from Pipes. I have the screen blocker up, right? Okay, I was just making. And whoever wins this, guys, will be earning one of our pieces of 8 here. And again, this piece of 8 is going to qualify them for the grand finals, which will probably be end of December or January. So this is going to be an 8-man tournament. It's going to be like an all-day thing, right? So I'll probably pull in some other casters to help me out with it. I mean, I could do it by myself, but it's fun to have company for like these type of big events. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. All right, and let's go ahead and switch back to the main screen. Players are picking their armies now. Ethan, thank you for the kind words, man. First time live? Well, welcome. You came for the best stream ever. Well, we'll see how the Lizardmen do here. I think they have a good matchup versus Norska. I mean, it's a good matchup. It's bloody. It's violent. Marauder champions are pretty strong against Lizardmen, though. I like watching Wood Elves if they're using Mel Gibson or Durthu. I love watching Wood Elf games if they use Orion or Durthu. But if they're using like Blade Lords and just like mass kiting, it's like, oh god, why? Give my shoulders a good old rub. Oh yeah, let me set that game. Yeah, thanks. A good catch. Good catch. And start. It is time, my friends. It is time. We're going to see what happens. Is Professor Pipes going to take this game and clinch the series? Well, not clinch it, but bring it up to a 2-2 and then go to a best of 5? Or is Pippington going to go 3-1 here with the win? So let me know what you guys think in chat. Are you guys here for Team Pippington or Team Pipes? You know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm quite eager to see who the community supports. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We got Milk and Cookies Total War in chat. The celebrity himself. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so we're here with the fourth game here. So it's currently 2-1 in the series. Pippington is up 2-1. If Pippington does win, he's going to be winning this qualifier with a 3-1 here in the finals. And again, if Pipes does, it's going to be going to Game 5, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. Pharaoh Boar says he has work in 4 hours, but you got to stay for the finals. Support your clanmate. Here in the front line, we have Marauder Champions with great weapons. A pretty solid choice. I prefer the shielded variant because they're good against skinks. Also, you don't need a ton of AP against Saurus, but nonetheless, Marauder Champions do very well against Saurus with their 80 armor. Some spears in the front line as well. In the secondary line, we have a couple Marauder Hunters with javelins, which are very good at spear hunting dinosaurs. They have anti-large, and honestly, I think they're better than the throwing axes simply because of their range. The range of the throwing axes is very... it tends to kind of drag them into the front line, which is a little bit tough. A lot of Norscan Ice Wolves and the Beasts of Tashnar, also a very solid choice to kind of hunt down skinks and skirmishers and annoying units. 3 groups of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, which are a great choice. Very good at dragging down the dinos, even peppering Temple Guard and things like that. They do a very good job. And for the Norscan leadership, we do have a Big Daddy Throg, by far the best pick as well. In this matchup, he has anti-large, armor piercing. He can go fisticuffs with Throg. He can club some fat toads off their toilet seats. There's plenty that he can bring to the table. And then we do have a Fear and Balefiend with Shadows for Professor Pipes. And for the King of the Lizardmen over here, we have Pippington with a front line of Saurus Warriors. We have a couple of groups of Saurus Spears on the flanks to help deal with Fimir. Krokar up on the mighty Grimlock. So we're going to be having some Kaiju action as Krokar is going to be fighting Throg, which is very fun. We got a Skink Chief up in the skies to dart things. 2 groups of Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bolas. And Skink Priest with Beast. Yeah, so we're going to see some Manticore summons. And it looks like he doesn't have Chameleons. He does actually just have Skink Skirmishers. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight for sure. Start when ready. We'll let him know it's go time. Pippington ready on the Sword of Torgvald, one of my favorite maps. I love the big castle in the background as well as the landscape, and this trench often creates a very interesting... Yeah, no Famir. Well, I think that Famir are very expected, right? So if he doesn't bring Famir, I mean, the Marauder Champions are going to put a number on this front line for sure. They're going to do very, very well. So, yeah. You were all for the Professor, but now you're going for the Lizardmen because they're your favorite. Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah. Hola, bola. Yeah, we're going to see. Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bola. Skink Chief with his darts. Definitely going to be pretty annoying for Throg, but there's plenty of ground units, right? Like the Pterodon Riders can have spears thrown at them by the Marauder Hunters who can kill them fairly quickly. There's plenty of action here, so this is going to be good. This is going to be a good battle. If Pippington wins this, he wins the entire tournament for today, and Pipes wins, it goes to Game 5 because it's currently 2-1 in the series. Last game, incredibly close. I mean, God, that's going to test your endurance, like fighting a long game like that and then just having to go right at it again. Oof. Skink Skirmishers are going to be pushing forward, providing some counterplay against the Marauder Horsemen, which is pretty good. As far as their combat stats go, yeah, they're definitely quite a bit weaker than Chameleons, but here they go. Going to be darting these guys down. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Not sure how it's going to work out for you. You don't want to be chasing these skinks who can just poison you and run, so Professor Pipes, realizing this is going to be falling back, he definitely just wants to mobilize the rest of his army. Just move forward, advance on the dinos, and have that pit fight, because they're going to out-skirmish you. They have Pterodon Riders, they have Skinks, they have a Skink Chief, an Overwatch Fire, and a Feral Carnosaur here as well, who I did miss. So, yeah, he was expecting the Famir, but there's no Famir, so this Norscan army could definitely catch the Lizards off guard. I mean, you know, again, there's no Famir, which are just so common in this matchup. We're going to see how it goes. We are going to see how it goes. So right here, you can see the Marauder Horseman coming in with the throwing axes. Going to be trying to pick off the Skink Chief. Might get some damage on him. They get a little bit. I think like 1 or 2 of those axes hit, but throwing axes aren't really efficient at tracking and tracing after flying targets like that, unless it's like a big dragon or something. But they're better used against the Carnosaur. Like the Feral Carnosaur is just going to get... If Pipes plays everything to code and is able to get the Marauder Javelins against the Carnosaur, it'll kill it so quick that it'll pretty much be a non-factor. So the Beasts of Tashnar are just sitting here, just kind of waiting, licking their chops. And in the meantime, Norska is going to be getting up and around and preparing to maybe do a little bit of harass before the main engagement is underway. We'll see. The Marauder Hordes, the Norscan Hordes, are going to be advancing, probably going to move over here and cross into this open field and then engage. I don't think he wants to like march and fight that uphill battle here. But again, he has skirmishers as well, but the Dino's invested in a... Ooh, oh no, the Skink Chief is sitting. He might take way too many axes. If he's sitting still, I mean, yeah, he can get chunked, but yeah, he takes a little bit of a poke, but nothing to write home about. Now, both players, I feel, have answers to one another. That's what's going to make this game so interesting. It's really going to come down to the micro-level play. And yeah, that's gonna be it. We're going to see how it goes. Yeah, all these games have been just absolutely crazy. So here we do have the Marauder Horseman, you know, peppering the Skink Chief a little bit, but the Skink Chief is able to fend him off. And with the Skink Skirmishers, yeah, there's not a whole lot he can do. But the Norskins, you can see they're going to be taking this wide circle route right here to get up on this high ground. But in the meantime, Pterodon Riders are coming in. Oh no, and it looks like Professor Pipes may have forgotten about his Marauder Javelins. Those guys are going to be chasing in a moment when he realizes he needs them. The Fire Leech Bolas are going to be going into the champs here, doing a little bit of free poke, and you can see here that the Marauder Horsemen are going to be pulling back, but this is really good play from Pippington. He knows he has natural terrain here, so he can simply fall back here, and the Horsemen can't really chase him, so that's a really good use of that terrain there. And in the back, though, Norska is getting ready. You can see the Hounds are getting a full surround. They really want to get that surround and pressure the back of the Dinos, so that when the Skink Skirmishers get forced out of the front line and into the back, from there he's going to be able to feast with the Doggos. So that's kind of what he's setting up for. Pterodon Riders falling back. They got a little bit of free damage. The Norskins are still advancing. You can see the order is given for them to march across the hill here. Skink Chief is just kind of sitting up in the skies and cackling and poking down those Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. So yeah. Yep, we're going. We're going. This is it, guys. All the marbles are here. For one of the players, of course. If Pippington does win, it's going to be all she wrote for the stream. So I'm sure you guys want Pipes to win so we can get another game after this. I think that would be pretty fun. But we saw some Vampire Coast today. I think we only saw them once, actually. I feel like Vampire Coast is a pretty solid pack. But anyways, talk about the game at hand. So here the Doggos are getting in the back. The Beasts of Tashnar and the Frostwolves and all these guys are going to be circling about. Pippington, of course, is going to be adjusting his formation to face off against the Norscan hordes. And yeah, this is good, though. I like that Pipes was patient. He's going to be moving up this position because the Dinos had a very entrenched kind of high ground position there. And you don't want to be charging up the hill against, like, I mean, Saurus are pretty strong. Their charge bonus is 16 compared to a 30 charge bonus on the champs. Man, that's pretty big. Throwing axes coming in here. He actually gets a nice little volley on the Skink Chief there. And remember, Cold Blood doesn't heal anymore, so you actually have to use like Rev Crystal or something. So there's no way to heal the Skink Chief right now for the Lizardman, which is, he doesn't have Apotheosis or High Magic or anything, so we're going to see how that goes. The Skink Skirmishers, in the meantime, doing a pretty good job at fending off the Marauder Horsemen with the throwing axes. Javelins are going to be piling forward to throw some spears. And the Doggos in the back still just circling. There are spears back here, plenty of ample protection, but eventually, those Skink Skirmishers are going to be pulled back. They're going to be pushed back past the front line. And when the spears are forced to come up to the front line and fight, if they are, that's going to, open the cookie jar, right? Then these little skinks are going to be fair game. So the Saurus and company are going to be advancing, which is a good idea. A lot of the Norskins are still down in the valley here, so he should be able to get a really optimal frontline engagement. Javelins are going to need to fall back as well. The Norskin Javelin throwers are Marauder hunters with javelins, have 35 speed, and the Norskins look like they're going to be taking the frontline engagement. One of their engagements is going to be pretty suboptimal here. This downhill charge from the Saurus is going to be pretty favorable for them as they do charge in and get some pretty good damage. But oh, look at this. This could be a beautiful Shadow Pendulum. Oh, that's such a good cast. Look at the damage he gets on the Saurus. If it had been a little bit tighter, it would have done way more damage, but even still, that was a very good high-value cast, I would say. The rest of the Norskins are going to be piling in. The champions are fighting. Over here, oh man, Throg just getting that ass beat right now. So Throg goes down to about 60% from the Feral Carnosaur as well as Krokgar. Javelins in the back throwing their spears into Krokgar as well as the Carnosaur. And it looks like the Pterodon Riders are going to be diving into the Javelins in the back, and a massive Flock of Doom going down as well. So far, Pippington in a pretty powerful state. These other Javelins need to move up as well and get engaged. And you can see here the Norskin Doggos actually get a nice rear charge into the back of these swords. So both players going back and forth. That's definitely going to do some huge damage. It might even break off the swords. The other Javelins in the meantime are being pulled forward. The Spears are helping out as well. If Throg gets gooned here, though, I'm pretty sure that's just going to be game. Throg needs to be careful. Throwing axes are here helping out. And you can see the Carnosaur and Throg, or the Carnosaur and Krokgar are taking some damage, but yeah, he needs to be careful. I mean, if Throg can like run this way and maybe stabilize, that's so much damage coming in. Pterodon Riders are falling, however, against some of these spears. The Summon Manticore as well doing some work. And the Norskins are doing good in the infantry fight. The champions are doing okay here. I guess these ones aren't doing so well, but that rear charge from the Doggos on the low ground definitely helping out quite a bit. Now, I think Pippington is in a relatively commanding position, considering Throg has been teabagged so badly by that Feral Carnosaur. And, I mean, yeah, having some, like, Norskin dogs to kind of pin down this Feral Carnosaur would be really, really useful right now. The Javelin Fire, though, is doing a lot of damage against Krokgar. He's taking a lot of work here. Marauder Horsemen have engaged in melee as well, so he's a little bit desperate, just throwing everything he can. And Throg is just being knocked down. He does have some spears back here to help him out, but yeah, he needs to run and maybe even hide in the forest to give a penalty to those bigger monsters. Norskin front line is still fighting, but the Flock of Doom and the Summon Manticore play, I think, is doing a lot of work here. Some of the Saurus here chasing, but yeah, I think this is going to be a victory for the Dinos. I think Krokgar and his pet T-Rex are doing a pretty good job. Throg is trying his best to stabilize and get away, and he has some Javelin support. Balefiend is just like, yeah, I guess the Balefiend could help out. Oh, massive Hand of the Gods in the back. Pippington getting a beautiful cast right there. Professor Pipes and Throg are just on the ropes right now as they're running from, Krokgar's just on a rampage, just hunting, just doing tons of work. There are Spearmen Marauders fighting, but the Saurus are actually winning the frontline engagement. I think they were able to get that optimal engagement. And Marauder champions with the axes and shields are much better against Saurus. I don't think you need the Great Weapons on those guys so much. So Professor Pipes is on the run right now, just straight up Jurassic Park action. Oh no, look at this. And the Marauder Horsemen are coming in to rescue him. They're going to pin these guys down. And yeah, they're going to get massacred as well. But it allows Throg to maybe waddle away, but he's also taking Skink Chief Fire up in the air. But, I mean, throwing axes are still peppering Krokgar a little bit, and he is down to about 40%, and he has no healing. So Krokgar could potentially get killed out. But I think the Saurus and the rest of the infantry are going to win the fight. There's just too much left. Saurus Spears here are going to be losing, but yeah, there's just too many dinosaur infantry. In order to beat the dinos with a Norska, you need to win the fight against the Saurus and things like that, and I just think that he doesn't have enough stopping power to do that. The Famir Balefiend is fighting. The Summon Manticores will be gone in a moment. Throwing axes are peppering down these Pterodon Riders, and Throg is like trying everything he can to survive. At least he is regenerating, but yeah, Krokgar and his other T-Rex buddy are coming in, and this Feral Carnosaur is just going to absolutely teabag the Famir Balefiend here. He's going to give him the business for sure. Some Norskin Doggos are coming in the back. It's going to be pretty good against Krokgar for slowing him down, so that would buy some time for Throg to maybe waddle away and heal a little bit. So throwing axes going in, Marauder Horseman going in. Pipes putting up a great fight despite pretty tough circumstances. And Throg, is he going to get him? He's down to 75. He hasn't been slowed yet. The Norskin Dogs haven't applied their Frostbite, but the other Feral Carnosaurs coming in, which is going to be tough. And the Famir Balefiend's trying to pile in. Both players throwing everything they have at this fight. The Javelins up on the high ground are actually getting some nice little downhill volleys here. But I think this is going to spell the end for Throg. He is so low, 500 HP. And you can see the Feral Carnosaur is going to be coming in. Just spears hitting him. He's out of control. Throg is so low, though. He has 457 HP. And you can see Krokgar with the Melkost Mystifying Miasma on him, simply to slow him. It's not meant to really do damage. But yeah, Throg is going to be forced off. He's probably going to shatter here. Pterodon Riders are going to force him off the battlefield. And that's going to be it, guys. Pippington is the champion for today. He's going to be qualifying for the grand finals, so very well played to him with some beautiful Lizardman play. Outstanding stuff. All throughout the day, he was able to make them work and show some of the hidden strengths of the dinos. So, I mean, great work to him. Great work. I mean, both players played outstanding games. Professor Pipes almost took that last game as well with Balthazar Gelt in a very tough-fought series. And it was 3-1, but all those games were pretty close. I would say this last one we saw was probably the most one-sided of all the games. But both players put on a massive fight there. So Pippington with the steel chair is going to be qualifying for the grand finals, and we'll be adding him to the pieces of 8 here, and that's going to be all she wrote. All she wrote. Oh man, what a day, guys. What a day this has been. This has just been non-stop battles. Oh my goodness. So big congratulations to Pippington, guys. Let's hear it for him in chat. And also huge congratulations to Professor Pipes. If we could get Pipes in here, could somebody drop a link to Pipes' Twitch channel as well as his Pipes' Twitch channel, as well as the Twitch channel, and yeah, we'll go ahead and take it, as well as that of Halo. And Pharaoh of War also has a channel as well. I'm not sure if he's posting content right now. And for all these guys here, I'll post links to all of their I believe they all stream on Twitch in some capacity, so I'll make sure to drop links to all of them. But man, great games today. That was crazy. Those guys put on great shows. Make sure to check out all of their different channels if you haven't. I mean, if you guys want to see more games like that, just, yeah, check them out. Damn, that was crazy. Let's go talk to the guys. Say GG. GG. Both of you. Sorry, I would type more, but my hand's hurting pretty bad. All right. Hey, you guys are welcome. Pipe says he's exhausted after those ferocious cockfights all day. Oh, man. Yeah, thank you, Pipes. Pipes and you guys, link to your channels, please. Make sure to go check them out if you guys enjoyed watching them play today. These guys, of course, are anchors of the multiplayer community, putting in a lot of work to advocate and taking time out of their Sundays, their days off, most likely, to come in and play for our entertainment. So, man, Throg really got taken out by that T-Rex there, but, you know, they both had good builds. I think there would be a couple little things. Maybe changing to Marauder Champions with the axes and shields. They actually beat Saurus pretty handily. But aside from that, I liked his build. It was just a couple positioning things that really kind of caught things off guard. And yeah, also big thanks to Shetland and Pippington for the rule set that they provide from their various tournaments. Be able to use those, and yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the donations real quick. And I'll go, actually, let me go get Wookie real quick. Hopefully he doesn't shard on me again. But all right, Wookie, I'm coming for you, buddy. Come on, Wookie. Come on, Lola. Other dog is very shy. Here's Wookie, everyone. He's gonna say goodnight to you guys. So I'll put him up here while I read off the chat. Why do you smell so bad? God, you smell terrible. I need to give him a bath. All right, big thanks firstly to Richard for just the enormous donations today. I just want to say sincerely thank you for that. That was huge. Makes a huge difference, and it's going to be quite helpful when I go in to talk to my stem cell doctor and all that stuff. So thank you so much, man. General Confusion, Michael Duran, Christian Bender, Simon Benjamin, Colin G, King Agizal, Tech Jeresteres, probably mangled that, I'm sorry, Pi, Robert Hugh, Prisoner of Warhammer, Ryan, Murdoch, Andrew Kinsley, King, Italian Spartacus, Fly and Bread, Richard Wirtz again, Magic D, Thomas Jones, Aiden First, Jason Denny, Tiamat 64, Ungram Iron Fist, Christopher Bruns with multiple donations as well, just fat ones. Let's see, Wicked D, Lucky Dude, Faust, yeah, Wicked D, and then of course on PayPal we have Christopher, August, Ole. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing Wookie as well. I actually am going to take him on a little walk. And by walk, I mean I'm going to carry him. Wookie says it hurts to live. Yeah, here's a little buddy. See? Want to go on a little walk? Yeah. He can't really walk, so I actually have to carry him. His back legs are giving out. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. Wookie and I are going to go and do our thing. That's it for now. So thank you guys for joining. The next Eternal Challenger League will probably be either this Wednesday or maybe next weekend at the very latest. I'm going to try and have one every single weekend. So, but we might have one during the midweek, so stay tuned for that. Wookie will be back for more. And hey, Austin, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Bob. Oh, man, what are you saying? Desine. Oh, so. Arigato. I don't know what the first part was because it was in, it looked like it was in here or katakana, but yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining. It was a lot of fun, and I will see you guys next week. GG to all of our competitors. They put on a great show today in Wookiee. Let's go outside and have some fun. Sounds good? All right. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.